Welcome, everybody, to Lucid Inc. We are back for episode 2, Once in a Lullaby. Welcome, everybody. So, quick recap of what this game is. Lucid Inc. is a Monster of the Week live Twitch actual play. We are playing as agents for the company Lucid Inc. that work with technology to go into the minds of their clients, specifically their dreams, to battle their dreams, to destroy them so that their very, very rich clientele can sleep peacefully and be free of their terrors. This is very much a love letter to things like Nightmare on Elm Street, The Matrix, and even Inception, in that it is very dangerous in these dreams. So these agents are very well paid because they're literally putting their lives on the line. I'm sure you're all asking, why is one of these little squares blurred? And we will tell you, but give us a moment before we get to our special guest. We're going to jump right in. Y'all ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We are in Lucid Inc. HQ. And if I am remembering right, I think Elias was hoping to have a chat with the founder, Mr. Ira Latona. Is that right, Jake?
Yes, I was hoping to get a one-on-one with him.
Absolutely. Let's start with that before we get into the main action. The scene is you walking up to his lavish office, and the door is cracked, and you see him scribbling on some documents at his desk, and he gives you a big smile. He's a gentleman with graying hair and a silver beard. He's wearing a nice, crisp button-up shirt, and there is a big old cowboy hat just hanging on the corner of his desk. He's a jovial fella as he smiles and motions for you to come in. Elias, how are you?
Well, Mr. Latona, I'm not unwell, but I am a little bit, well, I guess you could say I'm a little bit perplexed.
Oh, and why is that?
Well, having been here for a couple of your missions at this point, I am not unfamiliar with your pre-job pep talks via text message, and I have come to expect a certain joviality to them, a certain lightheartedness. So you can imagine my confusion when you send me a text message letting me know that the man whose brain
actually very quickly holds up a finger, and there's this stillness to him as he freezes there with his big smile. And I don't think I'm going to make you roll for this, that you notice from the angle that you're sitting that one of his arms is moving very, very slowly beneath the desk. And from the proximity of where you're sitting, you hear a very light click, almost like he's pressed a button on a keyboard, maybe. And he continues staying motionless for just a moment until he seems satisfied with something, and then nods for you to continue.
Well, now you'll have to excuse my curiosity about whatever that was as well.
He glances very pointedly up into the corner of his room, of his office.
I want to try and look kind of subtly. Is he like gesturing at a camera or something?
He is. That is exactly what he's gesturing at.
Okay, I'll look back to him and smile and say, "Oh, so I take it you want to have this conversation in confidence?"
That would be preferable.
I'll kind of relax into my chair then, like assuming that the camera is still going, like just putting on a good look for this conversation.
Outstanding.
And I'll say, Well, again, as I was saying, I found it curious that you notified me that the man whose brain we were about to go into was the man who put me in prison. Why would you be inclined to grace me with that sort of information when I have that sort of power over him?
He keeps that big smile, and as he talks, like, I don't have the expertise to do this, but like he's talking, but he's somehow just expert at like sort of mouthing the words as if he's talking along conversationally and jovially, but the words almost don't seem to match what he's actually saying. And I bet it's like perplexing to you for a moment. Like, you know, we all have a measure of reading lips and just following along, but he isn't. Like he's almost doing a ventriloquist act here. And so what he's saying is there's not much I can say about this except our advertisements are that we are mostly successful. There is margin of error, and I don't mind a margin of error for people that are working against us. He was here for our services, but he was also here to gain information on his own about us. So, the fact that the operation went well is fine with me, but we had other things in the works while you were under, things that went quite well for us. If he hadn't come out of it, well, we have a percentage of failure that is expected. Just figured I'd scratch your back. I'd rather keep my agents happy than my clientele, frankly.
Well, Mr. Latona, that is interesting. Do you care to elaborate on what you had in the works while we were under?
I absolutely do not.
Look, sir, I appreciate the opportunity to be working here rather than rotting away in a cell, and I can't overstate that. But I do not like being used as a tool. If you want my help in handling something when we're under that is a little bit more sensitive than you want to trust the rest of the team with, that's fine, but I would appreciate it if you kept me actually in the know instead of hoping that my baser instincts might win out in your favor.
His smile morphs from that put on camera smile to kind of an understanding, a genuine nod, you know. And he says, all right, that's certainly fair. In that case, maybe I'll just forego sending you a text. Instead, how about I just let you know what I need from you this time around?
Oh, I would much prefer that, sir.
The reason I can't say too much is because, well, if any one thing is found out, then we're all at risk. And that's frankly why I was not telling you much, because of your sensitive situation. I don't want you in more trouble than you are already in. I think you're doing well here, and I'd like to continue that. Does that make sense? It's not out of disrespect to you, but out of concern for your position.
I understand that's mighty compassionate of you, sir.
I will say only this. If something feels off, just, make sure that you cover Daphne's back. Make sure that she gets back safely for me, and if you do so, there's a bottle of whatever you want in it for you.
I'll smile and nod, like give him a yes nod. Well, I can certainly do that, sir.
I would appreciate it.
Is there anything else? I must admit, it's a little bit seems a little bit less devious than I was expecting on the surface. I suppose it might turn a little bit once we're inside and I understand the context.
Nothing so devious, just inner workings are inner workings, and I swear not all of us big CEOs are evil men. I'm here looking out for you all, I promise.
I think there's sort of like an involuntary, like, I don't believe you when he says that. When he says not all CEOs are evil men. But I will stand up and like straighten my lapels and hold out a hand to shake.
You notice his arm flinch slightly and hear a click, and then he stands and shakes her hand. It's always a pleasure, Elias.
Likewise.
Good luck today.
Thank you, sir.
All right. As he leaves, let's jump ahead to the sleep room as Elias, Daphne, and Natalie show up. And Naz is at the controls as usual, and there are only 3 chairs set up. Naz is spinning in his chair, clicking on several different computers. He is styling today in a little orange crop top. He's got rainbow fingerless fishnet gloves and very, very tight white leather pants. His tattoos are on full display. He actually has a fresh one down on his lower back. It's a dolphin with sunglasses on that says "Born to Fuck." And he's just like clearly showing. He's making sure everybody can see that fresh tat and like giving you winks over his shoulder. Hey babies, how we doing today? Are we ready?
Sorry, I'm still. Yes, but is it just the 3 of us? Normally it's a quartet going into these for safety reasons.
It will be a quartet, but it is not at the moment. Our baby boy is on vacation right now. He has some well-earned leave. So we are bringing in a ringer, and he spins in the chair, and he holds up a thumb drive, and he gives Daphne a little wink.
Are you sure that he's stable enough?
Oh, no. I am not sure at all about that.
Well, I guess the only way to make sure is to test it in the field, so.
Yep.
Sure, who is stable enough? What is this?
He holds out the thumb drive and he says, I'll let him explain it to you if you like. I don't know that you'll get a super clear answer, but long story short, you're going in with a little extra technology assistance. Daphne's worked with him before, so she'll be able to give you some of the minutia once you're in, but he's solid. He'll do well for you, I promise. This is a little chaotic. This is an aggressive typical tonight, okay? So we're talking some danger, some maybe imminent physical harm to y'all, so be careful, but it is a typical dream. This was one we see a lot. Here's what we got. And he motions over to the like sleep chamber tube in the center with the glass kind of dome over the front, and you see a woman. She seems to be in her maybe mid-70s. This is Ms. Courtney Bloom. She is our first time here, first time with us. The eval for her dream stuff indicates tornadoes, lots of tornadoes, and they're always chasing her. They're always around. This is like childhood dream, so you may be seeing her as a kid. That's also pretty typical about, old fears. They got out of her that she was messed up by a lot of like scary movies and things at some point. So, stuff with natural disasters, that kind of thing. But she can't seem to remember anything but that fear of being in the situation where stuff was getting ripped up and torn apart by the tornadoes. She was with her family a lot. You're probably going to see some of that going on. So really, however you want to deal with shit like that, whether it's comforting her enough that the tornadoes go away, or if there's a source, if there's something else out there, that's what she can always not remember, is like what's causing it or who's causing it, or is there something at the center of it. So that's that's the job. That's for you, my babies.
Well, let's hope that there's a center of it, because I don't think we can exactly shoot a tornado.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But, and he holds up the thumb drive again, you have an agent of chaos on your side, and you three are wild, so I have no doubts this will go just fine.
I always appreciate your confidence in us, Naz. And I will
Good,
pocket
good,
the
good,
thumb
good.
drive.
And as you're getting set up, two of you get texts. Let me send you an Ira text real quick, which again for these is entirely up to you if you want to share it with anyone at all. You do not have to ever. Let me make sure I find it. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. I love these.
As everybody, like as they are pulling out their phones, receiving these texts, I am also going to pull out my phone as if I have received a text.
Okay. Smooth, very smooth.
Thanks.
Okay. And one more.
I'm just imagining Elias like holding his phone out and just going, and just like tap, tap, tap. Yes.
My laptop is at a weird angle too, so it's hard. I'm I'm terrible at this. Almost. And those, they are all sent for the moment. There may or may not be another one soon. Okay. So you're checking these as Naz is getting you hooked up to the machines. All right, babies, any last words? That's just a little joke. You don't have to. All right, here we go. Relax. Take a deep breath. Start counting down from 100 as you exhale.
100, 99,
99,
98,
99.
97.
And instantly you go under as you very, very vaguely kind of hear Naz's words in the background. You hear N1 achieved, N2 achieved, and it's getting more distant. N3 achieved, initiating REM, and you are under. You all wake up in a sepia tone landscape. There is a farm in the distance, a huge cornfield that almost stretches as far as the eye can see. You see several huge barns, a couple of massive stables with some horses running around. To the north is a crisp, small little forest. And distantly, over the cornfield, already halfway to the ground, you see a tornado starting to form. And next to you, standing with you, is around well, you know what? I'll let him describe himself. Everyone, please welcome the GM of Spout Lore himself, Sean O'Hara, and our new player, the Constructed, Mr. Crispy.
Hey, what's up? So next to you on the ground, you see a 9-foot-long Bengal tiger with sunglasses and a Hawaiian shirt, who only seconds after becoming aware that he has been rezzed in, stands up on his hind legs, adjusts his shirt, reaches into his chest, which forms a breast pocket in his fur, pulls out a pack of cigarettes, sticks one in his mouth, lights it, and just goes, so it's like a Wizard of Oz thing then.
Seems to be. Agent Crestwell, Mr. Crawford, I would like to introduce you to Mr. Crispy.
Hello. F, good to see you again.
Hi.
I think I'm like mouth kind of hanging open, brow furrowed, but walking towards him with a hand out as if to shake.
Yes, I am Mr. Crispy, the former mascot for Crispy Cone Cereal. You might be familiar with my work in the mid-90s. Crispy Cone Cereal. Food.
Mr. Crispy, yes, I'm more
That's
than
right.
familiar with you. I
Yeah.
loved Crispy Cone cereal when I was a
This
kid.
was before I got replaced by the Crispy Cones, which I don't have any bad blood. That's just the way it is in showbiz. But Lucid Inc. They took me in. Are you familiar with subliminal cohesion processing?
Why don't you
Yeah,
go
if you
ahead
give-
and
if you-
explain it?
Yeah. So about 5 or 6 years ago, a company called Somnia Digital Solutions developed a technology called subliminal cohesion processing, by which a dream construct could be mapped and reproduced for digital applications, stored indefinitely. But unfortunately, they went out of business during the crypto crash. Lucid Inc. bought all of their technology for pennies on the dollar, including their one experimental success, me, Mr. Crispy. So I'm I'm a liminal thought construct, part cartoon serial mascot, part artificial intelligence. You know how it is.
Yeah, actually. No, this actually makes perfect sense. I did a job a while back with like it was like an off-brand Kool-Aid guy, and that was wild.
Oh, Juicy Dan. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
the
Juicy.
chill dude drink.
Yeah, he and I we went to college together. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that was a wild day. This is gonna be great.
I heard he settled down. How's he doing?
Oh, I have no idea. That's the only time I ever met him. I can't imagine it went great for a while, but I'm glad to hear that he's doing good because
Yeah, I know we had some wild times. Anyways, what do we got going on here? What do you need?
So, Mr. Crispy, when you get a message from Ira at the beginning of these, like, how does that manifest?
He reaches into his hip, which also forms a pocket in his fur, and he pulls out a mid-90s Nokia flip phone.
Yes. Okay, and you get this text.
He just looks at the phone, takes a drag off his cigarette, and goes, "All right, cool." Slides it back into his hip.
Amazing. And again, out before you, you're seeing very slowly this tornado forming far in the middle of the cornfield that is off to the west of the farm. And so, like, you have a big, just open field, just grassy, like nothing field in front of you. Farmhouse, kind of to the on this side of it are more of the barns and stables. All to the west and a little to the south are cornfields. Off to the north, you're seeing the little, like a little forest starting that stretches on. Everything is that gray and brown, that sepia tone, grainy feel, and the clouds are swirling. What do you want to do?
Question: are we sepia or are we just like fully color?
I think all of you but Mr. Crispy are a little sepia.
Magnificent.
I'm as bright as I've ever been, baby. Over here. I defer to the professionals, so you know, let me know what you need.
Well, we're inside the head of a woman named Courtney Bloom. Now, Ms. Bloom is dealing with an aggressive typical, seems to be continuously hunted by tornadoes, which I'm guessing is linked to some sort of traumatic experience watching The Wizard of Oz, is my best guess.
Yeah, it's got a real kind of Frank Baum vibe. So they're hunted by one of these things, and he points at the tornado across the field.
Yes, indeed. So, should we probably get inside?
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't care what anyone says. Wizard of Oz is a horror movie. We don't want to be out here if this thing fully forms and get to us.
There's a witch, and there's two witches, and one of them gets crushed to death. The other one melts. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, all right, let's go, everybody.
Yeah, head inside the farmhouse.
Remind me, does anybody have the beginning of the mystery stuff?
I'm here
I
as
didn't
support.
think so. Okay.
Let me make sure.
As we're heading towards the farmhouse, I want to ask, like, now wait, I feel like I must be falling behind a step. Did we just jump from a fear of a genuine experience with tornadoes to a trauma associated with watching The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah,
we did, like, Naz did mention that she was a very impressionable, like, watching disaster movies and stuff like that would frighten her. It could be that there is something deeper at the center of this, an actual trauma or past experience, but it does seem to be manifesting under the guise of The Wizard of Oz.
I mean, yeah, I said it might show up as a kid, that she felt like they were always chasing her. So I think it's reasonable to think that, okay, maybe something happened in her real life and she projected it onto a movie that she watched. And I guess it's The Wizard of Oz, because this all lines up pretty good.
I was just thinking in terms of starting to follow clues, that if it was a real tornado, we might start looking in somewhere like a storm cellar. But if we're assuming that this was a projection from a film, we might start looking somewhere like the den.
It also comes to mind. They put some old DVDs on the computer. They keep me running on. So I've seen this movie. If I recall, the movie kind of popped off once Dorothy went into the tornado.
Well, she was in the house. She was in the house, and then the house was in the tornado. So
Okay, yeah. So house, and then house tornado, and then tornado take house elsewhere.
All right,
Maybe.
so one way or another, we're going into the house, for better or for worse.
yeah.
Lead the way, big guy.
Yeah, okay. I'll continue following Daphne towards the house.
Yeah.
I like how Mr. Crispy's 9 feet long, but he's like, hey, big guy.
Mr. Crispy was designed as a support program, so he's very encouraging. Whatever you need to
Superb.
flourish, boss.
All right. So if you're all approaching this farm, again, the tornado isn't like formed, but it is. You can see the funnel in the distance. And as you're approaching, you're watching, like, there are horses running around in the open parts of the stable. You see a couple of farmhands, like, in the stables, shoveling manure and stuff. You see one off to the side on a little tractor. Like this, it's a bustling little farm.
And no one's reacting to the tornado in any way?
It doesn't seem like they notice, maybe, or either that or they just outright don't care.
Did we say something to these guys?
Sure, yeah. Like the stables are the closest to you. Past that are the barns, and then past that is the house. So like the closest one to you is probably the guy in the stable, mucking the stalls.
Hey, buddy.
He jumps and turns around with like a big friendly smile. Well, hey there, what can I do for you?
It's a tornado.
He frowns and he like leans to look out the window of the stable. Oh no. Not
Yeah.
again.
Oh, you get these a lot then.
Oh, I mean, we're in the tornado alley. It happens. I just hope it don't touch down. It just seems to be kind of hovering for a little bit. If it don't form all the way, then we might not lose crops this time. And he just kind of turns automatically back to shoveling.
We tried.
There's nothing we can do.
Nothing we can do. It's out of our hands now.
It's nature. What are you gonna do?
It's the beautiful cycle of nature.
I mean, I do want to head into the farmhouse if like that seems to me to be the place where a stronger manifestation of Courtney might be.
Okay. So yeah, if you're heading towards the farmhouse, on the, it would be the, make sure I'm doing this right. So it would be on this side, like the closer side to you, is where the porch is like facing out. And you see there's a woman probably in her late 30s sitting in a rocking chair, and she's got some knitting out. And she gives you a small smile as you're like walking around in the main yard there. Well, hi there.
Hi, ma'am. It's a beautiful farm that you have.
Oh, thank you. We work hard on it.
I can see looking around at everything else. And then I'm going to sort of tilt my head towards the tornado. That looks a bit ominous, don't you think?
Where she's sitting, she's like under the porch on the opposite side from the cornfield. So she's like, what do you mean?
I think I see a tornado forming.
Oh no. And she kind of scurries out and like sets her stuff to the side and jumps off the porch, like looking up and past the house. Oh yeah, well that's quite a start of a funnel.
Is it just you in the house, ma'am?
Oh no, I think Pa's around somewhere. Oh, that's my husband, but we just call him Pa. And well, I'm not sure where Court got to. She's probably out playing.
Oh, well, we could go look for her. I don't want her to be out in the storm.
Oh yeah, if that funnel comes down any lower, it might start tearing up the crops.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to just sort of nod. All right, I'll let you get inside, get somewhere safe. You don't have a storm cellar, do you?
Oh, of course we do. This is Tornado Alley.
I'd recommend you and Paul and the rest of these folk here get somewhere safe, and we'll go find Courtney. All right?
Oh, it hasn't even touched down yet. I don't think it's worth worrying about.
Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Oh, I'm Fern. Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you. Is the cornfield, the crops, is that usually what suffers the most damage when you get tornadoes down around here?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What about the barns and the stables that usually get hit? Is it mostly the crops?
Yeah, almost every time it swirls around through the crops for quite a while, tears up most of them, and then it'll swerve down around the south side, take out that section of the crops, and then it'll loop right back up, rip up the stables. The horses, they tear off everywhere. Then it'll come through the barns, and by then, that's when it comes for the house. But it hasn't touched down yet, so I can't imagine it's worth worrying about.
So it does that same thing every time?
Well, yeah, that's what tornadoes do, of course.
Oh.
Of course.
Naturally. I saw that on the Weather Channel.
Yeah, she knows.
Famously educational Weather Channel. David Attenborough's Weather Channel. Okay. So your kid is around here somewhere, though.
Oh yeah, she likes to play all around the place.
Any favorites in particular?
Oh, I mean, she likes to play hide and seek out in the corn, but that's usually a little later when she heads out there.
Of course, she likes to hide in the corn.
She also she plays with some of the barn cats, and sometimes Grandma will go out there and play hide and seek with her.
Yes, you say.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
Yeah, we got lots of them.
Okay.
I think I like kind of slowly turn to look at Mr. Crispy, and I'm like, what interest do you have in the cats, Mr. Crispy?
I like cats. Okay? It's a totally normal thing. A cartoon tiger dude is a cat. Everybody likes cats. It's not weird. It's not weird.
I'll take your word for it.
Ah.
Can I try to get like a gut check on where to find Courtney?
Yes, I believe you have a gut you can trust, right?
I do.
Well, yeah, let's see that.
9.
A 9. Yeah. You've been in enough dreamscapes and nightmares to like almost have an idea in a typical dream like this to understand that she's not going to be right now where the most danger is. She's going to be somewhere that it will build to eventually. So that thought of maybe somewhere out near the barns, like somewhere where she could be hiding, is probably the more correct direction to be going right now.
Okay. Yeah, I will explain that to the rest of the squad, like point towards the barns. Well, if we're going by dream logic, then for now, she's probably over there, not near the corn quite yet.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. It was nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure. You should stop on by for dinner.
I'll try to do that. You stay safe now.
I will. You'll know when it's ready. I'll ring the bell.
Yeah, and then I want to start heading towards the barn.
All right. Everybody going, or anyone else breaking off?
No, I'm going with Agent Adams.
Following along.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm staying a little bit behind though.
Okay.
Because how close are the barns? What are we passing as we're getting to the barn?
So the barns are actually pretty close. Like you had to kind of like skirt, not quite around them, but you had to more or less pass them to get here in the first place. So you're backtracking a little, but heading slightly north. So yeah, they are closer than the stables.
Okay. Can we see the tornado from here, from this direction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you're like up against a building that is covering your view, you can see the start of that funnel from pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, I think I'm following kind of that direction, like with everyone, but I'm moving like out into the open more, and then just like head up at the sky, like looking at this tornado and trying to be like, is this just a tornado? Like, is she scared of tornadoes, or is there something that's like in this tornado as it's starting to form? Like,
Sure.
what could this be? This is different from like, I'm used to fighting like monsters and stuff, and so I'm expecting this to be a monster.
Well, why don't you give me an investigative mystery on that? Why don't you?
5.
I would like to help.
Absolutely.
As you step out into the field, Mr. Crispy just kind of steps up next to you, and it looks up at the tornado and goes, What are you looking at, kid?
I'm trying to see if there's like, I don't know, some kind of like tornado monster inside the tornado, or if this little girl's just like straight up scared of tornadoes.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, and I'll roll help out.
Please do.
My cool acting under pressure, not so good.
Oh.
But I bet I can do just fine. And I cannot at all. I got a 2.
Do you
I got a 2.
Also, do you have something that lets you give more than a +1? Because that
Yep,
was a 5, right?
Yes.
I can give a +2
Oh.
Yep.
if
Okay.
I don't roll a 2.
Yes.
Of course.
So we should talk about that just in a slightly more detail. That Mr.
Oh,
Crispy is the constructed.
Yes.
So what are just real quick, like what are the moves that you have? We don't have to go into stats and all the little minutia, but
Sure. So as the constructed, the 2 moves that I get without choosing are Inhuman. You have a hard time understanding human behavior, mannerisms, and emotions when making a move relying on social intelligence. Take -1. People don't get you either, so hunters often suffer a -1 if they try to manipulate you. But as a bonus, I get 10 harm boxes instead of 7, and do not become unstable due to damage. My other move is Recharge. I may repair myself by immersing myself in a source of my animating force, which is cereal. But it's dangerous. I roll plus weird, and on a 10+, I heal harm 3, 7 to 9, heal harm 2, and on a 6 or less, the energy overwhelms you. The delicious flavor of crispy cone cereal overwhelms me. And the move that I chose for myself is Mystic Focus. Mr. Crispy is first and foremost a cartoon character. So his body is an endless source of hilarious bits that are at times useful and at times maddening. So my body acts as a requirement for use magic or big magic. And the purpose I was designed for is an assistant. So when I help someone out, I give them a +2 bonus instead of a +1.
I love this.
And I realized that I didn't optimize the stats that I have for being an assistant, because I've also been melded with an AI that was built off the recorded mind of a 45-year-old divorced janitor who was a volunteer. So I'm mostly tough and I'm mostly weird.
love it. Absolutely love it. Oh boy. So one of my favorite things, everything seems chill. Everything seems super normal with it. Just like, yeah, it's the start of a funnel, and no, it's not coming down too fast. It's probably not really a problem. Yeah, like if it doesn't hit, then no
Yeah,
wonder
seems like
everybody's chill.
Seems like a tornado.
Yeah.
All right.
And you both get to mark experience. Woo woo woo. As always, too, for all of you, you do have 1 luck that you can spend over the course of this. So use it wisely.
Oh, we only get 1 for each.
Oh,
monster?
you know what? No, I think we're ongoing. So
Yeah.
yeah, you guys can use it. You can use it willy nilly.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's more fun for me.
Yeah, I think just looking up at it, and I'm like, I don't know. I thought maybe like, in the Wizard of Oz, they did like a cool thing where they used like a tube of muslin, and they had dust in it, and they had like swirled it around, and that's what made the dust go out of it. So I thought like maybe there was like something at the core of this, but I don't know. It just looks like clouds.
Yeah, it just looks like it kind of looks like a soccer ball a little bit. It's kind of like moving.
Huh? Yeah, no, I
Like
see
that.
it.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
cool. Kind of beautiful, really.
Shit, we should catch up.
Ah, yeah. And he drops to all fours and runs across the floor.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, and I like run after him.
I glance over my shoulder and do a double take and fall over in a panic at a fucking tiger running towards me on all
Whoa,
fours.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, it's just me, buddy.
Did you miss the
Bye.
sunglasses?
You see, I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Normal tigers don't do that.
I
Let
think
me
there's
help you.
just something hardwired in my DNA that when a 9-foot quadruped is sprinting towards me, I panic a little bit, regardless of sunglasses.
Yeah, I get that a lot. You're Elias, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't know about you. Kind of a spicy guy, right?
I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
You got like some cool shit going on the side, right?
Not cool shit.
No,
Illegal.
no. Not illegal. A crime. No good.
Yes, I am on this team as a penance for my previous actions.
Yeah, that sounds terrible, what you did. And I definitely don't want to talk to you later about all of the cool things that you have done. against the law. But what are we looking at, Daph? What do we got here?
Yeah, I'm just walking towards the barn, and then I just want to sidle up to Elias. If you would be so kind as to not talk about that with Mr. Crispy, the software that he's built on is unstable, and he's impressionable.
You turn around to look at Mr. Crispy, and he's just doing karate moves, just into the air.
I just kind of gesture towards him while he's doing karate moves, and I'm like, the man seems of perfectly level head to me, and he wants to know.
Sir, the man is a cartoon tiger. I think at some point, I know that you're a criminal, but surely you have some sense of ethics.
Oh, corrupt on the cartoon.
All right, I will exercise restraint.
Thank you.
In influencing our dear friend.
And I'm just like, okay, well, how that one go again? You do the punch first, and then the kick.
Punch and then kick, and you gotta go ki-yoy. It's the scary part.
You're so smart.
They've been playing the Karate Kid 2 is on my computer, so I've been watching a lot of it. It doesn't. From what I understand, it's not as good as 1, but there's a lot more practical information in it.
I get on a private channel with Naz as I'm walking towards the barn. Just remind me how much money I get paid doing this.
Enough to buy me drinks for the next year.
Yep. A whole lot of money.
I imagine Naz has like a stability parameter, like meter, that's just playing on a monitor as Mr. Crispy gets more and less stable over time.
Yep.
Oh, somebody, you gotta rein him in. He's getting a little.
All right, so you are approaching the largest barn is closest to the house, and there's a few smaller ones off to the side that seem like, it's probably hay, like stuff like that. That's closer to the stables for that purpose. But this one seems like it's bigger for like farm equipment, for tractors and so on. It's tall enough to have lofts, and it's just a big ass building. What's up? What's the haps?
I want to open the door of this barn.
Okay. As you crack this open, it's pretty dark in here. Like the far end, you can see that it's the big double doors on both sides. You see a lot of equipment and stuff in here. A lot of stuff covered in tarps, piles of bags of feed and things like that. And you hear from like halfway down and in the shadows, you hear this like cracked voice counting. So right now you're just kind of hearing kind of muffled off to the side. 14, 15, 16.
Hello?
Hello? And you see a shadow kind of shift.
Do I have like a flashlight on me or anything?
Yeah, I mean that's fairly practical gear.
Yeah.
I would say you probably do.
All right. I want to shine a light in here towards that sound.
You see an ancient withered figure suddenly flinch, and a hand goes up, just dried hands and wrinkled skin, and she cries out, "That's cheating!"
I don't want to turn off the light, but I'll like sort of point it at like the ground a little bit. Cheating? I'm sorry, were we playing a game?
Vern? Who is that?
You're the grandma. You're Corny's grandma. So it's the grandma. I'm looking around at everyone. She plays hide and seek with the grandma. Your grandma.
Of course.
Of course, and you are playing hide and seek. This is a lot. I'm getting it now.
Well, we were.
I want to walk over to Grandma and like hold out a hand to take hers and be like, ma'am, I would like to apologize for the sudden interruption of your game. My teammates, they just don't understand the levity of heart that can be brought by playing with your grandchildren. Now, we are here looking for you and your granddaughter. There is a sizable funnel cloud forming over the farm, and we were sent to find y'all and bring you back to safety.
Oh, it's touched down then?
Well, no, not yet, but it is threatening to.
Oh, if it hasn't touched down, that's not much of a problem, is it?
Yes, we've heard quite a bit of that so far, almost like a mantra from all of you.
Well, it's just good sense, and she pokes you hard in the chest.
Mr. Crispy takes a step forward when she first arrives.
Are you trying to like intimidate her?
Oh, it's like the assistant protocols like engaging. As soon as an agent is in danger, he like becomes more of the AI and is just like, now hold on.
All right, yeah, she's just a little fiery old woman. Well, I mean, yeah, it's just good sense. If we went running every time a funnel popped up, we'd be living in the cellar.
Well, all the same, ma'am, we've been asked to bring Courtney back home just in case, so could you call for her, terminate this little game for the moment?
Roll a manipulate someone for me.
That is a 9, but with my +1 forward from Trust Your Gut, that is a 10.
Nice.
Okay. All right. She looks torn, like not like she's disagreeing with you. Like she just glances around into the darkness and you see this like very real sadness to the thought of stopping what's going on here. She says, that's a lot to ask for the middle of a hide and seek. What do you say? You four play around with me and then we'll come back.
All right. Come on, guys. You gotta take this so seriously. It's time to cut loose a little bit, play a little game.
I want to poke my head out the barn and take a look at the funnel. Has it gotten significantly more dangerous?
Not significantly, but it is a little lower.
I think this is a great idea. I think this gives us an opportunity to find good hiding spots, maybe look for more clues.
Yeah, I want to like pull out my pocket watch and I want to be trying to like keep a gauge of like how much this is advancing at what rate so that we've kind of got an idea in mind as we know whether or not to waste time.
Okay. Don't let me forget that you're doing that.
Okay. I've already forgotten that I'm doing that, so this simply will not happen.
But yes, I noted that's good. That's cool. So she's like nodding at Natalie. See, she thinks it's a good idea. We'll make it a quick one. I'll only give it a 20 count.
All right, just a 20.
Or does one of you want to be it?
No way, it's way more fun to hide. Right? Like crazy here, it's way more fun to hide.
Yeah, all right. And she turns back to her little corner up against the wall and starts counting.
Jesus.
And Mr. Crispy runs for any sort of like container that he could find.
Okay. Oh boy, what do I want to have you all roll for this?
What is the roll for hide and seek?
Yeah. I almost think
Is it not act under pressure?
it is. I think it's gotta be.
That's a lot of pressure to be put under to find a good hiding spot.
Yeah, in 20 seconds in an unfamiliar dark barn.
Yeah.
If I may make a pitch for Mr. Crispy. I figured out what he runs for. He runs right for one of those metal milk canisters.
Yeah.
And starts shoving his like massive bulk like into the canister. And I would like to use magic to fit myself
Yeah.
in there.
I love it. Yeah, roll plus weird.
Okay, this I can do. That is a 10.
Nice.
That's a 10. I'm assuming your effect is do one thing beyond human limitations.
That's the one.
All right.
Chat, if he fits, he sits.
Some things you can't change. Some things are hard coded.
You get down in this. You fit, so you sit.
My sunglasses pop off my head, and I reach up and I grab and I pull them back in.
I think everybody else, an act under pressure if you're just sprinting for a spot, though, I mean, you can pitch me if you have other ideas.
That's a 13.
All right. What do you find? Where do you hide?
Oh boy. I don't know. Are we just hiding in the barn here, or?
Seems to be what she's insinuating.
Okay. Then I think I've just like wedged myself like back behind like a stack of hay bales, like just like within like a corner of one of them.
Okay. Yep. You get in there well, like, and are able to like form some of it and scoot some of it out so that it just looks seamless, like no one could get back there. It's beautiful.
Yep.
I rolled a 10.
And damn, you guys. All right. And what do you find? Where do you hide?
I think I'm looking for like a ladder to go up to like a loft.
Okay. Yeah,
And,
you
like,
you
hiding behind like a barrel or something, like any supplies that are being put up here.
yeah, I think you find like it's like a broken barrel. So that you are hiding in a way that you like shift it up against other barrels that it's obvious that it's broken. So it doesn't seem like there's any way a person should be able to fit in there, but you've got it just right. Like you do that magician shit, where they're like hiding in the table or whatever.
Yeah.
Elias?
I don't think I'm really hiding. I think I move behind her, like out of her immediate field of view, but I think I'm just kind of leaning against one of the posts of the barn more in the dark for now. I don't know if it necessitates a roll or not.
I mean, if you're not trying to like really like hide from her, then you don't need to roll. But I mean, if you want to stay out of view, that's up to you.
I don't think I'm really trying to. I think I'm afraid that it will take this old woman too long to find a bunch of well-hidden individuals, and a fucking tornado might come down. So I want to be the easy first picking so that this gets over quicker.
Okay. So you hear her counting, and she gets to 20 and says, "Ready or not, here I come." And she starts shifting through the place, and like she immediately looks under the tractor that's to her right, and passed up to see if she can notice any movement in the loft. And then she glances over and notices you, because of course she does, and like she looks confused for a second, and she glances around again, like very slowly, around the immediate area, and like it's clear that she's like checking, like she does not see anyone else. And so you see her turn back to you, and there's a gleam in her eye and a little smile. And then she starts skittering on all fours across the floor towards you. Her skin starts to dry and crack, her nose elongates, and her teeth are sticking out at odd, jagged angles. And there's a low growl in her throat as, maw open, she is just skittering and leaping towards you. What would you like to do?
I think I panic. I start stumbling backwards and reaching for my 9mm and like the back of my jeans, try to pull it out and shoot at her.
I think this is an act under pressure, since this is just so fast and such a quick turn.
Man, I'm glad
that is
hiding.
a 7.
Okay. You can do this, but you're going to accidentally give up where one of the other people is right now. you can get a really good, like a better reflexive shot than you even hoped, but it's just going to hurt a little bit to do it. Like she's going to get up on you, and that's what's going to give you the leverage to get a better hit than you expected. Or it'll be a little less than you hoped, but you won't get hurt in the doing.
I will take the little bit of damage to get the shot off.
Okay. So let me look for Grandma.
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 Okay.
Grandma.
So you take one. Wait. Nope, that's not. You take 2 points of damage, not armor defeating, as she leaps onto you and sinks her jagged teeth into your shoulder and just is taking a bite. But your gun barks. What does it usually do?
2 harm, close, loud.
You feel like this was a damn good hit. Like probably a little more than what you would usually expect from it. As you clip her, literally where? Like where do you hit?
I'm probably just like center of mass if she's charging right at me, like right in the chest or the gut.
Absolutely. So I think this like blows her off of you, and there's just this like hole all the way through her chest. And she stays low to the ground, like almost like a Wolverine stance, with her fingers elongating, and her teeth almost moving around in her mouth as she's like gnashing her jaws. You should have hidden. And you all hear that. You hear, of course, you hear the gunshot, and then this odd taunt from her as she starts moving towards Elias again.
Yeah, with my battlefield awareness, I always know what's happening around me and what to watch out for. So I think just like seamlessly like jumping out of this pyramid of hay bales and like slightly laying down across one of them, pulling out a gun and firing at Grandma.
I love that. So yeah, let's see it kick some ass. And even in the dark, right where she's at. You've tracked this perfectly.
Oh, nice. That's an 11.
Hot damn. And what is your damage?
That's 3 harm.
And what is your extra effect?
Let me find that sheet. Man, I think I want to give... I want to force them where I want them. Like, I want to, like, shooting Grandma has, like, pushed her back further away from Elias. Like, maybe even, like, a little bit into the sepia sunlight of this open barn door so we can all see her.
Okay, yeah. I think you realize how critical it was to, like, clip her in a way that moves her back like that, because she was in that like 2-step jump ready to leap into the air and just was going to be on Elias again. But she skitters back, or not skitters, I think she flies backwards from the impact and slides along the floor. And she whirls around to your location and hisses, and it's like her jaw opens all the way, like freaking, right angle, and some of her teeth just fire off and clip you in the shoulder. You take 1 point of damage, though it is not armor defeating.
Well, I have 2 armor, so it's just an unpleasant experience for
it's
me.
It's just gross and awful, but does not seem to penetrate your skin.
I'll just have nightmares about it for a while.
Sure.
I know a place that you can go to for that.
Yeah, I know some very excellent people.
So now she's sort of between, like, Natalie, I think you're above her, but like next to her. Like the spot where all those barrels were is next to the door where she's just slid into the open doorway. And Mr. Crispy, you're on those cans that were just along the side there as well. So she's kind of between the both of you. Who's up to what?
I mean, Mr. Crispy's trying to get out of the can that he shoved himself into. So it's just like fingers and then like head and shoulder, torso. So I don't know if I got a roll to get out of this thing, but put myself
I don't think so. You had the full success to get in, so I think your cartoon logic is pretty solid here if you want to act.
Yeah, so it gets to like middle, like kind of like the pec like gut zone.
Yeah.
There's like a squeezing sound and then a pop as he jumps out of it fully and sees terrible grandma with her awful teeth and first goes and reaches into his pocket and pulls out a huge cartoon style mallet.
Yes.
And swings on her.
Roll kick some ass.
Kick some ass, I can do this. Is a 9.
Okay. So she turns as you, like the only bright spot of color in this place, suddenly appears.
Right.
And like her neck, her whole head and neck turn all the way to look at you before her body shifts to meet it. And she leaps into the air and her neck is like elongating and clips down on your shoulder as she takes a bite out of you. But your hammer is long enough that it still connects with her body that's in the air, like still catching up to it. How much damage does your attack do?
It is 3 harm, hand, heavy, and messy.
Awesome. So you take 2 harm, but not armor defeating.
Okay, so I have 1. That's 1 harm because I took bulwark. My body is unnaturally tough.
Yeah. But she, like, you hit her right in the meat where she had been shot, and there's a hole. And she twists in the air and, like, flops to the ground. She's still moving, but she's clearly having a hard time getting up. Natalie, what are you up to?
I think I get out of the barrel once I hear all the commotion happening. And I look down and I see this creature, and I'm just like, yes, finally, this is what I was hoping for here. And so I think last time we determined that, like, we don't necessarily have to have our, like, weapons on us at all times. We can kind of, like, manifest them when we need them.
Yeah.
Just as flavor-wise, anyway. I think Natalie wears earrings very similar to the ones that I'm wearing now. These, like longsword ones. So I think when she actually wants to use it, she just, like, unhooks one from her ear, and then as she, like, brings it down in her hand, when it comes up the other way, it's just a full length sword. So I'm going to jump down onto the hay bales beneath me and then just swing on her.
Fuck, that is all so dope. Okay. Roll kick some ass.
We'll see how good it is. 8.
8. Okay. And how much damage does that do?
Sword is 2 harm, hand, messy.
And messy. She sees you coming in the air, like she's like twisted in a way that her neck is up, and those teeth fire out of her mouth again and clip into your torso as you're like leaping down with this sword. So you take 1 point of damage, but not armor defeating. And describe your kill with this sword.
So I think her jaw, like, opens up to this, like, over 90-degree angle, and as I come down, I pin that bottom elongated jaw, like, into the ground, and then just kick her in the face with my Doc Martens.
Amazing. She crumples and goes still. There's like this dying gasp of anger and fury and hunger as she finally crumples, and you watch her like her skin dries out even more, and the weird twisted angles just kind of snap and contort a few times in these dying twitches, and she is still.
Whoa,
The fuck was that?
that was awesome.
I have no idea
start-
what that was.
It started creepy, and then I thought it was normal, and then it was creepy again. He points at Natalie though real quick and goes, "Kid, the thing with the sword was primo. That was really cool."
You had a mallet.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, cartoon characters, and he shoves it back into his hip pocket. That's how we do.
I'm tucking my gun back in my waistband. Can I like open these barn doors anymore to like get more light in this place?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. I want to get this place as well lit as possible so we can look around and see if Courtney is actually in here anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think you need a roll now. That from the opposite side, across the way in the other loft where there's a lot of hay stored up there, you very clearly see, like, you know, just from like here down, this little blonde haired kind of figure with like hands looking over in absolute terror at the scene below.
Courtney, are you okay?
I don't know.
Are you scared of us or were you scared of your grandma?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we were also scared of your grandma,
Yeah.
but we're not here to hurt you. We're here to help you. We're trying to find out what's going on while this scary stuff is happening.
I had some of your cereal this morning.
Are you hungry? Do you want some more? And I reach into my Hawaiian shirt and I pull out a bowl of crispy corn cereal. A spoon.
No, I'm not. I feel a little sick right now.
Okay. And I just dump the cereal back into my shirt.
Are there any more grandmas down there?
Are there usually more than one?
I know. I don't know what to think about anything now.
No, we got her.
Okay.
She's
And-
for sure dead.
Cool. I think, yeah. And she is shaking like a leaf, but she goes over to the little ladder and slowly makes her way down, and she just like can't seem to take her eyes off of that twisted form on the ground.
I'm gonna. And Mr. Crispy just grabs the corpse and drags it outside.
Here. What? Who are you? You're not the farmhands.
No, we are here to help you, Courtney.
Okay.
Do you know anything about the tornado that's outside?
Like her eyebrows go up and she like leans to look out the door. Oh, yeah. I mean, it hasn't touched down yet.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I see.
Yes.
I don't know how to look for what I want to look for. I want to try to get a vibe check off this little girl to see if she too is like a freak monster NPC that could turn on us at any moment, or if it's genuinely Courtney, like her child self impression.
Uh-huh.
I want to roll vibe check, please.
Vibe check. Yeah. God, there sure needs to be one. This is not exactly a give me an investigate a mystery. I think there's stuff you can get off of this.
11.
Nice.
Damn, yeah, you get 2.
I mean, I think I'm basically going for what sort of creature is it?
Sure. So I think the answer to that answers your vibe check in that, like, you see her looking around, you know, you said, yeah, there's nothing else here, but she's still worried about it. Like, she's still checking the dark corners and like looking out over the field and like looking back over her shoulder towards like the woods. And I mean, just anywhere that seems like it could have something concealed somewhere, she is scared of. That's all startling her. So like the vibe check you're getting is she is genuinely afraid. She is genuinely looking to you all for help and like maybe even looking for a place to run to. So you absolutely don't think that she is anything but on the level. But like this whole thing shook her up. Like this was a surprise. This shift from the grandma was a surprise. So she's wondering where else are these witchy type things? Like where could they be? And she seems certain that there are more.
Okay. In regards to her seeming to have like the same rote response as everyone we've encountered so far, what is being concealed here?
Mm-hmm. How do I put this? So, I think the idea you get is a real version of like this is a very good example of a typical dream in that everyone else is taking a cue off of how she thinks it works. So like more than a lot of dreams where people just kind of have this general awareness and like general feeling of you know how things would go, they like almost react more naturally in your experience. In this dream, it's almost like she's almost a lucid dreamer herself. And in so doing, since her control is very tied to what she's feeling, everyone else is going to take a cue off of that. And I think it might occur to you that that is as dangerous as it could be helpful. Because if she thinks something is scary, it's really fucking scary. But if she also thinks, oh, like, this is how something should work, or this is how other people should react, they will probably go with that as well.
Okay. I think then for right now, like I'm going to try to convey that to the squad in a moment, like not just right in front of her. But for now, I want to take my pocket watch out of my pocket, and I want to like hold it out like for her to take, and I want to say, "Here, I'll tell you what. Why don't you hold on to this for now? All right, this is a magic pocket watch, and if anything bad happens to you, it's going to protect you. Okay, it's going to change the time that happened right before. It's going to keep you safe. So, you just hold on to this for now, and then that way, if anything bad does happen after this, you got a little bit extra something to keep you safe. Okay?
Oh, that's really cool. Hey, thanks.
You're welcome. I'm going to want that back though before we go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. She's looking around and yeah. You see her take it and she's thoughtfully like walking back into the barn, like as if to go out the other side instead of this close side that's closer to the house. Like she just like on rote action seems to be looking at the watch and just walking in that way.
Okay, then I am going to take that moment as she walks away from us, like just real quick, to whisper to the rest of the squad all that information. Like everybody's weird behavior in here is based off of her almost lucid dreaming. So if she's scared, it's going to be scary in here. But if she feels safe, it's going to be safer in here. So I'm just trying to keep her level for now. Hopefully she can lead us to whatever's causing this.
So does that mean that she was afraid of her grandma? Or was she
Seems
just
like that
afraid
might
of
be the
being
case.
found? Like, is it just like a kid fear of being like found when you're hiding in hide and seek, or is she afraid of her grandmother for some reason?
Boy, I mean, that seemed a little bit more intense than just a kid fear of being caught. That seemed like she was afraid of grandma.
Well, she's also looking out at like the field and like the woods and stuff. So maybe there's something else out there, not just more grandmas.
Should we be following her right now?
Probably,
yeah.
yeah, that's a going off of what Elias and Crispy suggested. I should I just call you Chris?
I know. Yeah, Chris. You could call me Chris. That's totally fine. A human name. That's actually really cool. So I'm into that.
I want to get on the comm with Naz. I don't know if in Ms. Reed's initial interviews with Solace, if she found any family history, any childhood stuff we should be cognizant of. We just had a real bad run-in with Grandma, and I'm wondering if that's the cause of something or what.
Baby, I can check if you want. What you
appreciate
want me to do? Do some like family research? Is that what I'm looking for?
Yeah, if you could, I'd appreciate that.
I will sure try. Let's see your what I'm forgetting what it's called.
Deal with the agency.
Deal with the agency. I couldn't get the word work with the agency out of my head.
Work with the job, folk.
Work with the job, people. Man, my dice are hot today. 9 plus a 1 is 10.
Woo! And remind us again exactly what do you get from that?
So on a 10 plus, you're good. Your request is okayed, or your slip up goes unnoticed. So I'm hoping to invoke one of my agency's resources, which is good intel.
Good intel. Absolutely. So. Yeah, okay. So I think this comes back from Naz like with a fair amount of confidence, as like almost silly as it sounds. So he comes back and is like, "Hey, look, I got some quick shit done here. Like I'm not finding much besides a lot of what you'd expect. Like, these are folks that were very stubborn. I mean, they're the type that are like, oh, there's a tornado. Let's go out and watch it. Like they're really like Midwest folk, So there's a lot of that playing in of like no fear until it is just coming up the alley at them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's certainly a level of stubbornness that I think probably at least affected her overall. This grandma, Colleen Bloom, she was, very much like that matriarch, like hold off to the last second kind of lady. So I can imagine at least something tied into all of that, right? But here, go with me on this, because I'm trying to think like you guys. I'm not you. I am not an agent. I don't have the expertise. But here's my vibe check on this situation, right?
Yeah.
Colleen looks almost exactly like the woman that played the Wicked Witch of the West. Like, for realsies. Like, so if you have a stubborn old lady that is like putting her family in danger just because she's just a stubborn human, and she's got a look of something that is like affecting this little girl, there's going to be some crossover on that fear. Am I right?
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you, Naz.
You are welcome. Still owe me those drinks from last time.
I do. Thank you.
Good luck. Love you.
I value your contributions to the... Thank you.
He loves me.
Yeah, I think explaining why Grandma got monstrous is as simple as she looks like the Wicked Witch of the West, or at least enough that a child could project that onto her.
Can I
mean, yeah.
can I like jump out of the barn really quick? Can I see the cornfield from here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do I see a scarecrow?
You absolutely do.
Cool. So there might have been some things that overlapped in Courtney's childhood that overlapped with Wizard of Oz that could be real bad for us.
Is there a lion here?
Not here. Not that you can
Swear,
see.
I swear to God, if there's a fucking lion here, I'm gonna go nuts.
There were cats in the barn! Or in the stables or something.
Cat's somewhere. I can smell them. We got a job to do. I really think we should be following that kid. She kind of went on autopilot.
Yeah, that's right.
And she's gone now for sure.
He is out of the barn, out the other side by now.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Let's get her.
I'm gonna sniff around a little bit. I'll see if I can find it. Don't worry. And he drops to all fours and starts trying to find a trail.
Okay. Roll read a bad situation, please.
Can do that. Kind of. That is a 9.
A 9. So you get one question from the list.
What is my best way in
Your
to
best.
the location that Courtney is at?
I think your best way to get to her is, you're realizing the side that she went out leads to like the northern end of this situation where the cornfield eventually stops, and not too far away is where the forest begins. So you've got a good bead here, and to get to her, absolutely the fastest and safest way is to cut straight through that corn. Seeing the sort of maybe meandering childlike course she's taking, I think you have a good bead on the perfect angle to just break shit out of the way and get to her.
Okay. Good news and bad news. I'm sure you can guess what both of those things are yourselves. Okay, so the good news. I know where the kid is. She's on the other side of the cornfield. The bad news is the best way to get to her is through the corn. And corn is scary, as we all know.
Well, corn's only scary if she thinks it is, right?
I wonder if a little girl who is afraid of the Wizard of Oz thinks that a mysterious cornfield is going to be scary. Sorry, Daphne. That was a little too sarcastic. I've been watching a lot of Devil Wears Prada lately. It made me kind of mean.
I get on the comms. I'm like, Naz, can we get the sarcasm level dropped by about 3? Just drop that down from a 9 to about a 6, please.
I'm good, but I'm not that good, my baby.
So sorry. What do the agents think that we should do as a support program? What do you think we should do?
I don't think she'd be scared of the corn. I mean, I think she might be scared of and I'm going outside the barn and pointing. I'm like, there's a scarecrow out there. There's a scarecrow in the Wizard of Oz. That's already, I think they're just scary as is. But scary stories to tell in the dark. 3 had a terrifying story of a scarecrow. You can get really, really messed up with these things.
Well, but in the Wizard of Oz, the Scarecrow's a good guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still got hay in him though. Still has that weird face and the sort of puppy way of walking.
Well, if everything so far
His
is
hay guts get pulled out a bit and they gotta restuff him, it's kind of messed up.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's a horror
monkeys
movie.
with the wings. It's awful.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go find this kid then before she gets in any more trouble or creates any more trouble.
What if? I have a running theory. You guys go into the corn. I beeline for the scarecrow, and I just whoop the shit out of it right now. Before it even gets the chance to get gross and scary.
How menacing does this scarecrow look?
Give me an investigate.
Sure.
Mr. Crispy's like already, he's rolling
That's
up the
a
fur on his
9.
arms. He's ready to go.
A 9. You get 1.
Okay, looking at the scarecrow, what sort of creature is it?
You look at this thing and like it's far, it's in the middle of this huge ass field, but
I have
like,
exceptional vision.
yeah, except you might have like some basic little binoculars or something. You're very tactical. This is the only other thing that you have seen yet that has a little bit of color to it. Like the face that's been painted on has just little, like, it's not super bright, but it has like blue eyes and like a very genuinely like happy red mouth, and like some of the hay sticking out of the sleeves and stuff is yellow. And I think you notice the eyes like shift, like it's sort of looking around, and you're like, what sort of creature vibe is like that? This thing is protecting the field. Like, this is a very happy little fella out there. Like, in the way that Mr. Crispy is kind of this mascot icon and has this color and brightness and like a jovialness to him, so does this scarecrow.
How close are we to this field of corn?
I mean, not super far. Like you're coming out of the barn towards this north side. So I mean,
Okay. Locking
yeah,
eyes.
20 seconds of running and you're in it.
Yeah, locking eyes with the scarecrow. Can I just step into the corn? Does he get aggressive at all?
No,
Okay.
he does not. Like, he kind of tracks you, and you see the eyes, shift towards you a little bit, but he's just smiling.
Definitely sentient, but I don't think aggressive.
Funny thing about cats, they love to fuck up stuffed animals, so this looks spooky to me. So if it's not gonna hurt us, maybe we don't do anything yet. But if it makes a move, Crispy.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get it.
Yeah.
Telling you, all sentient things are aggressive. Acknowledge it or not. Don't trust them. Just want it on the record.
Okay, so where are you heading then with this thing in mind?
Straight through.
Towards, wherever she went.
Yeah.
Sniff it out.
Okay.
Courtney.
You are beelining through that area that Mr. Crispy has like checked over, and you're starting to near the outer edge that would be the north side, so that the the forest will appear to you. Like, you can start to see the tops of some of the trees from the corn's pretty high. Like, it is harvest time, and I think collectively you hear this rushed sound from behind you as if corn is breaking, and it's getting faster, louder. You're hearing, and it is literally almost on you as the corn near you just bursts in a flurry of like tan fur. What would you like to do?
Is it a lion?
What you see burst out, if you take the moment, is a pseudo-anthropomorphic, twisted figure of a lion. It does not look happy.
Mr. Crispy goes fucking nuts. He drops low, and he holds his arms out to like back the crew like behind him, And you can see, like, if you're watching him, you can almost see the like anthropomorphic nature of him kind of boil away and leave behind this like machine animal. Like, an actual tiger roar like bubbles up in his chest, and he's ready to fight this thing. He's trying to stare it down animal style, like trying to back it off, but he's ready to fight.
You know, I was gonna, because nobody asked, like, what dangers haven't we noticed and things like that. I was gonna make you all deal with some sort of an act under pressure to deal with this, but you
That's fair.
painted me a word picture that makes me believe that he is never not ready for a fight with a lion.
He kind of is, yeah.
So I'm gonna
Always say
say,
lions are king of the jungle. They don't even live in the jungle. Tigers live in the jungle.
oh, he's so right. I'm gonna say roll kick some ass if you want to throw down with this thing.
Boy, do I ever. That is a 9.
A 9.
Can I help out in any fashion?
I bet you can. How?
Yeah. Well, since I do always know what's happening and what to watch out for, I
Yeah.
think just like when we heard like that the sound of the corn moving, like I like sort of like nudged and tipped off Mr. Crispy to like start watching our 6.
I love it. Yep. Roll help out.
What is that with? Is that with cool?
Cool.
Oh, I'm good.
Cool.
I'm good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a 9. So you get
That will
+1.
give you the +1, which gives you a full success. What would you like to do for your extra effect?
I would like to inflict terrible harm.
And you all, you just told me, I'm already forgetting. What do you usually do?
Well, I would do 3 if I had my mallet out, but what he is instead using are his massive tiger paws. So I do 2 hand and forceful.
Forceful. Oh, okay.
3 hand and forceful.
Absolutely. So you all see this like Rocky and Creed exchange here as these feline forms clash, and this thing is horrific. Like, the vibe you get from this lion man is like when you're startled by something, like if somebody sneaks up on you and you weren't expecting it, or you see something, you know, that just like blur of motion that you have, that like unseeing fear of this, of whatever it is, whoever it was that was there, that you're not almost recognizing exactly what's happening in the moment because you're so, you know, out of breath, you're shocked, that adrenaline starts to flow. That's what this thing looks like all the time. Its features are almost blurred. The features are too big and twisted. It is absolutely monstrous. And it clashes with Mr. Crispy, and it does 2 points of harm, not armor defeating, as its talons rake across your back as you twist together in the air. But you collide back down on the ground, and it's like scurrying back to get to its feet and see who to attack next.
So my help out does expose me to trouble or danger.
Oh, don't worry.
Okay.
I know.
I mean, I let Mr. Crispy take the first attack on this, but I was aware that there was something coming for us. So yeah, I'm gonna try to shoot this thing.
All right, let's see you kick some ass.
Another 9.
Okay. Anybody else wanna?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or the other 2 as well.
Nobody has to. It could put you in danger.
I don't think so, because I don't think I'm doing great in this cornfield. Just like, it's very overwhelming
Yeah.
for me. And I think like I'm halfway through this and I want out. I don't think I'm able to react fast enough to help anybody.
Fair.
I will help out. I think I just, again, like, scramble for my gun in my waistband, but I think I just fire a shot in the air to try and, like, startle this thing or get its attention or catch it off guard for a moment to create an opening.
Oh yeah, let's see you help out.
5.
Oh, no.
Oh, hey, yay, experience. That's fun. Okay.
Is it possible to help out a help out in this game?
Nope.
Fuck.
I know,
Now
right?
now I know what that feels like.
Yep. Your gun does 3.
Yeah.
All right. This thing pounces over Mr. Crispy, like using his head as a step as it comes down on Daphne. And you take this shot that rips through it, and this twisted, blurred form falls to the ground and is still. But it has raked you as it has fallen, and you take... oh man, you have 2 armor.
I do.
2 points of damage, but not armor defeating.
Okay.
Lucky. So I think you're mostly just pinned by this weird blurred form, and otherwise it is quiet for the moment. Though, Elias, you notice that the funnel of the tornado has moved a lot closer to this side of the field and is dramatically lower in the sky.
I point that out.
We've got to get out of here. We got to get out of this field. We got to find Courtney.
Could someone please move the line?
Mr. Crispy grabs it by the scruff and like hauls it off.
Thank you.
He's like he's still pretty gruff. He's like smelling it and he's like flipping it over and sniffing this animal.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Going through his pockets, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if he's got a wallet on him.
I think by the power
Use
of him,
magic.
yeah,
I'm gonna see if I can pull a wallet off this thing.
I think you just get that.
All
I think
right.
just by virtue of how his logic works, there is a wallet that reads
cash.
Lion McLionton.
Lionel.
Lionel.
Lionel Lyonton.
Yeah. Damn it.
Lee Lion. The coward Lee Lion.
Ah,
That's
Pretty
good.
good.
love it.
Pretty good.
That's great. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think,
Da-da-da-da-da.
Okay.
I'm just leading the way out of here.
Okay. Yep. You're not too far from the edge as you burst out and you see the edge of the forest ahead. And I think for just a moment since you cut through this direction, you see a little blur of blonde hair disappearing into the tree line.
These trees, what do they look like? Are they just normal?
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah,
is there fruit on these trees, Tass?
they like mean apple trees,
Yeah.
maybe?
Well, I mean, you know what you're looking for here.
Yeah.
You see that just at the edge of the forest, yes, there absolutely are a few apple trees. But like, it's just the first like few right there.
Mr. Crispy just walks up to one of the apple trees and points at it. Goes, don't even fucking think about it, bud. Been a hard day already, okay? I don't need this right now.
You watch the trunk of this thing shift a little. The vibe you get is somebody like looking over their shoulder at you indignantly.
Are you just gonna ignore me, huh? You just gonna ignore me? Is that how we're gonna do this?
You get the idea of it shifting up like a shrug.
Oh, buddy.
I go put a hand on fucking Mr. Crispy's chest and start like steering him in the other direction.
It's not worth it, bro.
All right, okay, look. My friends want me to walk away. I'm gonna do what my friends want to say, but I just want you to know how close you came to utter ruin, my friend. Utter ruin.
See one of the branches just slowly shifting, like somebody cracking like their wrist and knuckles.
Oh, okay. Let's get out of here. Get me away from. Hold me back. Hold me back, Elias.
I don't think I can hold you back, Mr. Crispy. So
Pretend
I'm
to
going to
hold
need
me
you
back. Just
to
just
get your
pretend.
head on and stop
Right.
picking fights with fucking trees.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, I want
The
to
apples look mealy. I just wanted to say, yeah, apples look mealy. Let's go.
I want to hurry in the direction that we saw Courtney go.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, if you're just walking through into the woods, you absolutely feel like the just the idea, the like peripheral vision idea that these trees are shifting and watching you, but otherwise nothing happens.
Okay.
Following just straight into the woods,
Yeah, do we see Courtney?
not at a glance. It's actually pretty dark in here. Are you just kind of like keeping an eye out, trying to follow her?
Yeah, can I just start like shining my light and seeing if I can like pick up a trail if there is such a thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this should probably be read a bad situation.
Okay. 8.
8, you get 1.
I could attempt to help out here.
That would be nice.
Mr.
Sure.
Crispy pulls out an old timey oil lantern, and he's walking with it ahead of him. That's a 6.
Oh,
In fact, that is a 5.
Oh no!
Apologies, my deepest apologies.
But you know what else it
Experience.
is? Yeah, it is
Experience.
Experience.
Coming out of this with a lot of great work.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So what's your 1?
Okay. Well, paint the picture of is there like a path in this forest or are we just like literally in forest?
It's pretty much just forest, like at a glance, but
Then,
yeah, well, that's all I should say. Yeah,
Man,
it's
like
pretty much just the woods.
I want to know, are there any dangers we haven't noticed, like
Sure.
desperately, but I also like we need to find Courtney, which sounds more like what's my best way in, like towards her.
Hmm.
So I think
Is that the one you-
that's what I have to go with. We have to find her.
Gotcha. So I think that more or less gets you the path. I think as you're going along, you realize the obvious like open space. Like you remember this almost like rote action that the girl had been taking so far with almost everything except for when she was jarred out of what it seems like is the thing that she would expect. So while she's on this path, you get in that zone and go, okay, like this is where she would walk. She would have naturally kind of steered around this tree, and it just becomes this second nature path for you. And eventually you get to a very small clearing, and there is a little cottage in the middle of it. And in this cottage is very, very, very clearly all made out of sweets,
No.
candy, and
Yes.
so on. And
This
I
is
think
a different thing.
This is indeed a different thing. Are there
Hell, I think
breadcrumbs
you
on the
s-
ground, Tass?
there are not.
Okay.
I'll even give you 2 that I think you get there at the moment that like you notice the front door that's like a giant graham cracker with, icing and stuff to make like a little fake window and stuff. Like you see it, like just the tail end of it, like closing.
Well, shit.
Does this seem like every step we take, we are too far behind her, despite trying to catch up? Does this seem supernatural in and of itself? Does it seem fucked up that we haven't caught up to her so far, despite our attempt?
That's a real good question. Surprisingly, maybe surprisingly to you, this is kind of a good point to consider what you had before that I said, don't let me forget, as you were like tracking the timing of things and you saw that the tornado was getting lower and so on. So since you kind of introduced that idea and this is now occurring to you as like a magic effect, give me an investigate a mystery with an extra +1.
Oh, 7.
Oh boy. All right, you get 1.
Um,
I feel like with what you're asking, it's almost, yeah, I guess it could be either what's being concealed or what happened here.
yeah. One of those.
One
Yeah,
of those.
To get the best answers.
So
What is happening here?
so I think you finally get this idea of what it is. Like it clicks in your mind what is happening and essentially how to help the most because of it. It's this idea of as you all go along, this whole thing is progressing. Like she has a predetermined way that this dream goes, and you got that idea all the way back from just talking to Ma on the porch. And like, here's the path this thing takes, because that's the path it takes in her recurring dream. These are the steps that this little girl needs to take. What possibly could have happened with grandma in that barn? Maybe does she lead her out into the corn to play hide and seek and then get her towards the woods and so on? Like whatever it is, this little girl has to go through these steps and address those fundamental fears that have hit her in growing order, or else if you don't get to them, if you don't approach them, if you don't tackle them the way that they have impacted her in her life, then there's no way to actually achieve what you're trying to do. So she has to go through these steps to see those fears, and you are realizing if you stop her, you won't get to them and you won't be able to tackle them yourselves.
Mm.
I think I like pitch a big sigh at that, like kind of hands on the hips, like dropping my chin, like,
What is it?
we gotta keep following her. We gotta keep doing the things and letting her do the things, or else she's not facing her fears and then she doesn't get over it.
All right then.
Forgive me. Now that you've even told them that too, whether this is just a you realization or an everyone realization, both of you failed some rolls out in the field to help out and so on. And you noticed that the tornado was much, much lower, much, much faster. It occurs to you that maybe your interference could also upset this balance in a way. And that maybe that portion of what should happen has been expedited from what the path usually is.
So I don't rightly know what to do here. Are we just supposed to literally do nothing? We got to let her like confront these things, and if we step in, it might upset the whole dreamscape.
If we don't step in, then it's just gonna keep happening over and over again. Like her mom said, like it goes through the cornfield, this part of the cornfield, and then this part of the cornfield, and then like around to the stables and then to the barn, and then it keeps doing that. She's facing these, but not overcoming them. So if us overcoming them, even if she's facing them, is still messing stuff up, do we have to help her figure out how to overcome them?
It's beyond my pay grade. They don't even pay me. But I think we should go just see what's going on in this candy house.
This delicious
Right.
house, yeah.
Because maybe what we're here to do is take care of the more horrifying elements of these dreams so she can address the core trauma at the heart of them. We beat up scary grandma, beat up scary lion, and inside, presumably, we beat up some sort of candy witch, and then she can take Crispy Cone's witch. She could be here. Sorry, I got sidetracked. But, you know, if there are some things that a little kid, well, the mind of a woman who regresses to a childlike state, there are some things that she can't overcome on her own. So we take care of those, and then she figures out the hard parts.
I mean, maybe she didn't face the lion, right? She went through the corn, and then we fought the lion, so maybe that's what upset things.
She avoided the corn. She went all the way around the corn because the lion perhaps was inside the corn.
So maybe we just prevented the lion from, I don't know, chasing her into the forest?
Perhaps.
I think we have to go in there and help her and defeat whatever I assume Candy Witch is inside there. I'm
the very
not
least, we should
loving
see.
the tornado, but I feel like if we help her get over these fears, maybe it'll stop. That might be why it's accelerating. It's trying to stop us from doing what we're doing.
That could be. Either way, we should definitely go see what this witch is about.
Yeah.
Is that just because you want to see another scary antagonist, though? Or because you think it's genuinely the best thing to do?
Two things can be
yeah.
true. And we
Alright,
just
yeah,
said we
yeah.
gotta help her face the things, right? And if we don't know what this cool witch can do, or, you know, if we're not paying
There has
attention, we
been-
won't know how to fight it.
There's been
So-
you added in the word cool before witch in there, and there's no reason for that.
The house, I feel like, is a good indicator. This is pretty cool.
I'm like pointing back and forth between her and like Crispy, and I'm like, I can't fucking measure, like I can't balance my brain between the fucking doctorate level child psychology coming out of this cartoon serial tiger
can
and
I
then
say?
the irresponsible need to encounter horror movie antagonists coming out of this woman. I'll follow. I'm gonna pull out my gun and I'm gonna follow.
Good.
And you guys tell me where to go.
Great.
It's a sobering moment when, like, I'm finding Elias to be, like, the person that I'm looking to for, like, solid advice is really fucking with Daphne on, like, a deep level. Yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna head towards the house.
Okay. I think as you start walking towards the house, like you all realize that there are footsteps just kind of not amidst you, but like right behind you in formation with you, and you hear a voice say, "Oh yeah, you all checking on her here too?"
I'm sorry, who?
Around.
What is this?
You see what was one of the farm hands that was off, like to the side, working with the horses, and he like gives you a little smile. That funnel's getting pretty low. I ran out to see if I could find Court. Is that where y'all heading?
That is, yes.
Oh, all right. Hey, look at this. This is a hell of a place.
Huh?
It sure is. Is this man also sepia-y? Was the lion in color?
Not really.
Okay.
No, he was more that sepia,
Okay.
like,
The witch
which
was
is
too,
easy when
right?
he's tan.
The witch was
yes.
too?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, this farmhand, does he have a weapon on him?
Nope.
Great.
He's just in overalls and a little flat cap. Like, it's so cliche.
I'm
Are
going to
these
this
guys-
house.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in.
the tense nature of, are these guys armed? No? Excellent. Oh, you know what? Maybe you guys go inside. I stand outside with the farmhands out here.
Oh, what?
Why?
Oh, I don't
No,
know. I mean, I gotta go find Court. I'm going in, and look at that.
No. Hey,
It looks
hold
to
on,
be
buddy.
out of candy.
Just a second. Just one
Oh.
second.
What?
I mean, like, maybe I'm being overly paranoid, but the only
Oh.
other kindly, hey, could you turn around for a second?
Oh,
Talking to
yeah,
my
and
friends here.
he like turns all the way around.
Like 360.
Yep.
Hilarious, bud.
What? Oh, you need privacy?
Just a sec.
Okay.
All right. It comes to mind that the only kindly other adult that we have encountered here became a terrifying maw.
I mean, the mom seemed nice.
Yeah, but I mean, we haven't gone back to the house
That's
yet.
true.
I feel like there might be a third act reveal with the mom that we are not prepared for. But also keep in mind, Scarecrow counted, Iron encountered, Tin Man not encountered yet. Perhaps secret robot. I just want to throw it out there. Look,
no, he could
I'm happy to
absolutely be like a tractor man. You're right, but like,
I'm happy to be overruled here. If you think that we should go in with them, that's fine. I just wanted to throw it out there.
I mean, I do feel like this guy's going to turn on us. Like maybe he's out here to make sure she's doing, like she's on the path. Like he would scare her onto the path or keep her going through these terrible things. But I'm not confident enough in that deduction to just attack him.
All right.
I mean, he's not real. He's just in a dream. So I don't know. I don't know. Where is my morality kicking up from right now? All of a sudden.
I mean, that's true, but I mean, if we destroy constructs that aren't actively aggressive, that could be harmful to the dreamer.
so if he's supposed to get aggressive, then she's supposed to face him. So we can't just go eliminating stuff. Like, let's find out what's going to happen. If something happens, we'll deal with it then.
We
There
have to go in. It's been so long.
Is a scream from inside the cabin, and that guy goes, "Oh heck!" and he tears past you all towards the
I'm
cabin.
running after him.
I told you we should go in the cabin.
Whoopsies.
As he's running, outside, it's just nice little porch and everything, and there's even like a big gumdrop off to the side, and there you see more of them, like more like pieces of gumdrops, and there is like a chopping, like an axe sticking out of the big middle one, and this farmhand grabs it in earnest as he tears off towards the cabin.
I'm running, but I'm turning over my shoulder and like emphatically pointing in a "you were exactly right" at Mr. Crispy.
As he's rolling up the fur on his arms, revealing human skin underneath.
Oh,
running
no.
towards the door.
Pulls off his tiger gloves to make a human fist.
Here we go.
Yeah,
All
busting
right.
in this house after all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen this guy kick the door in, and you're like on his heels, and he has this axe up, and there is this form. I mean, there's nothing to roll. You get the idea of how much this girl, or really this older woman, like mixes ideas in her head, because what you're seeing in this beautiful little cabin, again, everything made out of candy and pristine. On one end, there is this huge, just the only thing that really stands out that's wild is this huge metal, like rusted oven. And it like flame and smoke is billowing out of it. It's wide open. And you see this form that is the big, beautiful, pristine, colorful dress of like the Witch of the North, of Glinda. But the form in it is this similar to what Grandma had been, this twisted, dried skin, cracked form with the very cliche elongated nose and like mottled gray, or not even like it. You would think this should be like green or gray, but it's in that sepia tone. And she is like moving towards the corner where you see Courtney screaming. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna shoot this awful thing.
All right, roll a kick some ass.
9.
9. I'm gonna give it a 2 count before I tell you what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Helping.
I
think he would. I think Mr. Crispy would try though. I
Okay.
think even though he's bad at it, he always tries to help.
I love it.
He just comes barreling in as Daphne's like pulling a bead on this monster.
Okay.
9.
Oh, all right.
Well done.
So, I mean, for what it's worth,
Sorry,
you get
10.
plus 2.
10. That's a 10. That's a 10.
Oh, that's so much better for you. What's your extra effect then, Daphne?
Can I force this creature where I want it, and that is in the direction of the enormous oven?
Absolutely, you can. So you take a shot clipping her, and she spins about and like falls against the oven, and you all smell the burnt flesh as she shrieks, and part of her dress catches on fire a little bit, and her eyes whip around, and she hisses, and Daphne, you suddenly are in another room.
What?
You are just in a blink. The rest of you just don't see Daphne anymore. The room that you're in, Daphne, it's like a little bedroom, almost too small. It's only like 6 feet by 6 feet. Everything's almost miniature, but still made out of candy. The roof is even short enough that you have to crouch a little bit. But the door in this room is made out of steel with bars on it. What do the rest of you do?
Fuck.
What do we see happen to Daphne?
Just suddenly, like, she takes this shot, this thing, she hits the oven, all of that, and shrieks, and then Daphne just simply is not there anymore.
I'm
No blink, no power, no nothing, just gone.
as the switch is pressed up against the oven, I'm taking my sword and hitting her with it. I'm trying to so like the door of this oven, is there like bars to vent through, or like what?
Yeah, the door is open at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'm swinging at her, trying to force her back towards it.
Hell yeah, let's see you kick some ass.
11.
What's your extra effect?
Force her where I want her. I want her in the fucking oven.
Hell yeah. Oh man. I think she grabs onto you as you like force her inside of this oven, and she drags you in with her. So she is like fully inside, and flame is starting to engulf her, and she shrieks, but she's holding onto your arms, pulling them in, and you take 2 points of armor defeating damage.
Yikes.
The rest of you see this though. She is like fully fucking in, but she's still moving and shrieking.
I mean, Crispy's gonna run forward and try and pull Natalie out of the fucking oven.
Okay. Give me a. You could do a protect someone here and maybe possibly get rid of some of this damage that she just took if you get her out fast enough.
Absolutely, that sounds excellent.
All right.
Roll. Oop. That is an 8.
An 8. But you'll suffer some or yeah. I think
I'll
you're able
take as much as he can, basically.
absolutely. And you take technically less, so you knock her out of the way as she's getting dragged in. Natalie, you feel the lick of that fire and that beginning of pain, but Mr. Crispy is there instead, taking that 2 damage. But you still negate that one at least.
Just smells like toasted cereal.
Yeah, it smells delicious in here now.
It's almost hard to smell it in this delicious smelling cabin as it is, but it wafts through. It's nice.
So we've got both witches in the oven now?
Both.
Wait, what?
Wait,
I said
both?
we've got both witches in the oven now?
There's only one.
There's only
witch.
one witch.
Oh, I thought Glinda was in the oven.
She it's the same one. It's like
Well,
she just
Glinda
looks
is- yeah.
terrifying. She's just in that beautiful
Oh.
dress.
Gotcha. I heard this scary witch put Glinda in the oven.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I was unclear on that. Yeah, it's like Glinda's dress and the crown and everything, but she's horrifying.
I thought you were calling Mr. Crispy one of the witches.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold on a
Get
second.
in there,
Well,
witch.
now I was replaced by a witch. I will not stand for this.
I
Slander.
would never.
Oh man. What's Elias up to?
I'm trying to get a bead on where Daphne went.
Mm-hmm.
With my gut.
Yeah, trust it. I dare you.
5.
No.
Oh, beans.
Crispy, you're the only one if you wanted to try, but I don't know how.
I mean, I guess I could try by keeping the witch occupied. Like I'm just feeding her punches in the oven as everyone else is trying to do.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to
Everyone
sleep,
else
go to
is trying
sleep.
do stuff. Yeah.
I'll take that. Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's with
Out of a balanced breakfast.
With your
yeah, food. I'm so good at math.
Oh, I can't do
An
it.
8. That's an
8. I think she drags you in. Like the only way you can hold her off long enough is to like you're literally just staying with your arms in the fire. So overall, what would have been 2 goes down to 1, but 1 more damage as you hold her in. But that pops you up to a 7. So like you're getting the vibes of this sort of house that it doesn't seem like it matches the outside. Like there's more space in here than there should be. And there's like a couple of different ways to go, but your gut is telling you to go down like the opposite direction of where the action is happening now. Seems like the area that is unnaturally big inside versus outside.
Okay, I think I get on the comms and I say, Naz, I need my crew.
Oh, all right. How does this work again? Do you just request them or do you roll something? I'm forgetting already.
I mean, the move kind of
Is just
presupposes that I
having
always have them.
Right. Yeah. He's like, oh shit, okay, give me a second. This looks wild on my screen. And a few moments later, the crew pops up around you in this house.
I think I just point in the direction that I'm getting a vibe from, and I'd say, Jackrabbit, we're missing Agent Adams, and she's somewhere down that way. Can you go clear this house real quick, see if you can find her?
See what I can do. And do you want them all to go or just...
Mostly just Jack, because he's
Okay.
the fast one.
Absolutely. So yeah,
No, I take that back. I will send both Jack and Harper, so that depending on what they find, Harper might be able to bust through or bust out something.
outstanding. So they tear off for the moment.
So I'm gonna change this again. Yes, send all 3 of them because I don't just want one of them still here. So just send them all off to do this job.
Do your
I don't want to be dealing with just one rando here.
Well, I'm just doing Sudoku in the corner. I'm
Yeah.
here. You need me.
I don't have a relevant task. Doing a crossword.
Daphne, what are you doing in this little space?
I am looking at the door. I'm looking at the walls. I'm looking for maybe like a weak point that I could try to bust out of this.
Yeah, Go, give me a read of bad situation.
She's eating her way through the graham cracker drywall.
If I must.
Oh no.
Oh no, that's a 6.
Oh no!
Oh, you think the best way to do this is start eating?
Oh no!
You think like, oh, it's a metal door, but surrounded by freaking like rock candy. Like it'd be so easy to just like lick at some of this and like weaken the structure. For sure. I mean, that's a great call.
I do that.
Okay.
Praying that no one finds you too quickly.
Yep.
So you take a bite
Yeah.
out of this house,
Mm-hmm.
and suddenly you take 2 points of armor defeating harm
Mm-hmm.
as you are being held in a furnace by an anthropomorphic tiger. And none of you see the witch. And from the back hallway, you hear your team, Elias, say, "We found a metal door. We're cracking it."
I mean, do I have time to notice what's happening and like call back to them? This seems like I would not have time to understand the situation to tell them to stop.
I mean, not in this instant, but you can take a second here. I'm going to say, what's Mr. Crispy doing in this very imminent someone is on fire situation?
I like pull, like I mean I've got Daphne in my hands as I was just a moment ago trying to end her, and I pull her out, throw her on the ground, and I pull out a comically large fire extinguisher, and I start hosing her down.
I love it. Give me an act under. Oh, actually, I think this also could be a protect someone to see if you can help with some of that harm she's taking.
Okay. That is an 11.
Oh, hell yeah. So you get an extra with that as well. So suffer lesser harm, all danger on you. You could inflict harm on the enemy.
Punch
I
that
would love to know
fire.
how. I climb in the oven. Where are you? I mean, maybe. Oh, maybe I hold the enemy back, yelling out to Elias and Elias's crew, presumably, like they might have switched places.
Okay, I like that.
It's witch rules. Just be careful.
So,
Wonder
oh
which
man,
rules. So can I erase that 2 harm?
I think you can.
Okay.
But
Am I taking it?
you are taking it.
Oh, buddy.
I got lots of room to work with here.
You do have a decent amount of room. And so you do. I think Elias, as you're panicking there with like, oh no, they're saying this. Mr. Crispy screams this out and you hear an, oh fuck. Okay. And yeah, that's what happens as Daphne is quickly pulled out of the flames.
If everybody could just give me a moment, and I go and I sit at a table, and I pull out a tablecloth, and I put a bowl and a jug of milk on the table, and pull out. The camera focuses on this beautiful box of crispy cone cereal, and I shake it into the bowl. Delicious splash of milk. I'm trying to recharge with a nice, refreshing bowl of crispy cone cereal. Not a significant source of any certain mineral, but still their food.
Yeah. Yes, they are. Let's see. Let's roll it.
See what happens. Ah, wonderful. That's a 13.
Damn. So you heal 3?
I do indeed heal 3.
Outstanding.
I will go please.
You do start to hear more of that hissing and shrieking and a little bit of a panic tone from Elias's crew in that hallway. There's something going on. There's something going on in here.
Yeah, I want to pick myself up off the ground and start heading in that direction.
Okay. Natalie, where are you at on this for the moment after you've gotten her pushed in and then all of this switches around? Like, you're kind of the most poised to do something at the moment.
I mean, honestly, there's been so much back and forth and people switching places. I don't think I'm clocking any of it. I think after like
Okay.
we get her in the oven and I'm like pulled like out of the way and Crispy takes over the baking. I think I'm trying to get Courtney.
Okay. Yeah, she's like backed into the corner and she was shrieking as you all burst in. She just kind of has hunkered down and like, you know, covered her eyes, and she's actually looking between you, and that farmer has come over as well, and he's taken up a position off to the side with the axe hefted, like facing out, ready for anything. And she's like reaching out for you as she sees you. Why there's witches everywhere? What's going on?
I think I just tell her, I said, it's okay. Yep, sometimes there are witches, but you know what? That's we fight them and we keep them from hurting us or anybody else. So don't worry, you're not alone.
Okay. Daphne and Elias. So I know Daphne said you're heading that way.
Yes.
Elias?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my hunting rifle and like kind of try to keep a long angle down the hallway, like get a visual on the door and be ready to shoot from a distance.
Okay. So you, as you come into the hallway, you do see this like metal door at the end of it, and there are actually a couple of metal doors. They all have like a small window with bars in front of it. But your team is at the end of the hallway, and they're kind of glancing in, and I think it's probably maybe Jack that's like waving. She's doing something with the candy, man. She's doing something.
Well, don't look at her. I look at Daphne confused. Like, what made you swap with her?
Trying to eat the candy wall?
What happened to you the first time?
I don't know. She just looked at me and then I was in a cell.
Yeah, don't look at her.
Eat the candy.
Don't lick the candy and don't look at her. Just be ready in case she busts out of here.
Tried to eat the wall while you were there?
Listen, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
There it is.
Can I get a shot? Like
at the time.
You said there's a little barred window, right? Can I get a shot through it, like from long range?
Oh yeah, I think you can. I think you'd have to like get fairly close to be able to see through, like, you know, to see exactly where you're shooting. Like what you'd see from the end of the hallway is just vaguely some candy inside. Like you don't necessarily see her.
I mean, it's a hunting rifle. Like, do I not have like a scope on it? Can I not see?
Yeah, even so, like
distance?
if you're looking through it, you can see that window and see past a little bit. Like you see some of the inside, but you don't see her in that square.
Okay. Does it sound like she's moving from the sound she's making? Like, do I think I could time it out to wait until she does pass that window?
Yes, I think that would be probably more. I think the attack would be an act under pressure to time it, as opposed to just kick some ass.
That's fine. I don't want to get close, but I will take an opportunistic shot if I can get one.
Sure, absolutely.
That's a 9.
A 9. Okay.
Can I help out?
How?
I think by just helping him time this. We mentioned I've got some, like some goggles or something that help me see a little more, like just trying to sort of cue him on when I think she might be getting closer.
Okay, like you're using like like binoculars or something to
Yeah,
like.
and also like my knowledge of like how big the room is.
Yeah, it's your battlefield awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's see you help out. I like that.
5. I leveled up.
Oh no!
Hey,
Yeah.
that's
Yay.
exciting.
Do you know what you're gonna take?
I do.
Oh, tell us all about it.
I'm gonna take another professional move.
Okay.
This seems like this might be useful. I'm gonna take Leave No One Behind. In combat, when you help someone escape, roll plus sharp. On a 10+, you get them out clean. On a 7 to 9, you can either get them out or suffer no harm, your choice. On a miss, you fail to get them out and you've attracted hostile attention.
Oh boy. Okay. How much damage is your rifle, Elias?
2 harm, far loud.
Are loud. I think I have to add a tag to this for this situation. I think this is
Ricochet.
So here's what I think happens is, oh man, is that Daphne is like looking, watching, and says now, as you say now, because this witch's head has popped up in the window. So it's like, great shot. But you are literally zoomed in, making eye contact with her as she grins.
Oh.
And Elias takes a shot. And it is like it's Daphne's cheek that takes the bullet as she and the witch's places are switched. So it's 2 points of harm, armor defeating, as like part of your face literally is just ridden with a bullet. And I think Elias, your just absolute panic and like looking back gets you another shot as you just shoot at the woman next to you, who is this witch now. And she backhands you as she takes this shot to the chest and flops across the room onto the table, disrupting the bowl that Mr. Crispy is eating out of. You take 1 point of harm, Elias, not armor defeating, as she just smacks you also across the room. Mr. Crispy, what would you like to do about this?
When the bowl of cereal gets knocked out of Mr. Crispy's hand by the witch, his eyes fill up with red, like liquid, and his face starts getting red, and steam comes out of his ears. And this happened all the time in the commercials. You guys would remember. Someone took away Mr. Crispy's crispy cones. He went fucking ballistic, which is different now that he is part artificial intelligence. So there's a steam whistle sound as he hops up in the air with the steam coming out of his ears, and he just starts mauling the witch. just straight up tearing at her.
Let's see a kick some ass.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a 13.
What's your extra effect?
My extra effect is I inflict terrible harm.
She is shredding you back as you rip into her. After a moment of this scuffle, of you like ripping at each other, she is still. She just flops down, clearly dead. You take 2 points of damage, though it is not armor defeating. And in almost cartoon fashion, your phone buzzes again, and the message pops up that simply says, "Don't forget."
He grabs the witch and he gets really close to her face. And he says, "Air food!" And he fucking chomps into her neck and just goes full tiger on her for probably 30 seconds.
And in so doing, you get an automatic level up.
All right.
So you don't have to tell me what it is yet if you want to look over. It can be.
I'll figure it out, yeah.
Yeah. And this witch goes down, is dead, and starts to, aside from where she's being ripped apart by Mr. Crispy, just starts to like crack and dry up and dust the way the other had. And this farmer's like, what?
The witch is dead. Ding dong, let's go. Time's running out.
She's dead for sure.
I'm running down and trying to get the door open to the cell that Daphne is in to check on her.
Absolutely. I think, oh gosh, why am I mixing up names? Which one's your lockpick? I'm not on that page.
9.
9. I think by the time you get down there, 9 has popped the lock on this and it swings open. Daphne, how you doing?
I think I'm like sitting against one of the walls, just like very wide-eyed, trying not to freak out. I've had injuries before, of course, but you know, even if they are in the dream, they feel very real. And so just trying to kind of like remind myself that like it's okay, I'm okay, but like ringing in my ears, like a little spaced out.
Yeah, you all see her huddled like that in a bit of shock.
Yeah, I'll pull out like a handkerchief, like a bandana that I have in my pocket, and like hold it out to her to stop the bleeding, and I'll be like, I'm really sorry. I didn't react in time. I couldn't have.
No,
I should have seen that coming.
You reacted perfectly. It was right when I told you to.
Well, she's dead, so.
Good.
Are you going to survive?
Yeah, yeah, I'll be okay. Can I try to quickly roll medic on myself? Like, try to see if I can, like, in the moment, sort of, like, pull out this bullet or, like, stitch up the wound, a little sewing kit?
I don't think medic works on yourself, at least from the way we read and things were worded. I think that was one.
It just says when you do first aid. Can you not do the first aid move on yourself?
I don't believe so. I feel like we had for the show, we like looked this up because I always had that issue where I couldn't roll it on myself. But I mean, if we let me hunt it.
The most perfect typing sounds I've ever heard in my life.
I'm so sorry.
I just gotta go to the archives.
We just hack into the mainframe and make sure that we got this right.
Let's see. I don't see anything from Michael Sands about it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Of course, Reddit is on my side in this moment, saying,
"Oh yeah."
If the cool and collected professional stitching up his own wounds isn't a genre trope, I don't know what is.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with it then. I can't source the thing that we found that made me think that we like thought that was true, and since I can't bring that up, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I mean, like it doesn't, because like I know like there are certain healing moves that are like when you try to heal someone else.
Right.
But this is just
right.
like when you do first aid.
Right. So yeah, go for it.
Okay. What is that plus? Cool.
Cool,
yeah, 11.
Okay, then you absolutely do. You're able to get that kind of stitched up as you're starting to hear some more panic from down the hall in the main room. This farmer is with you, Natalie, just like, we gotta go. That tornado's probably touched down by now. We gotta go. We gotta get her in the cellar.
Let's go. We're running out of time.
And Yeah, he's sprinting out. Like he leans down to like he's gonna pick her up, but isn't sure if like you're gonna do the same thing. But that's what he's trying to do, is like get her like scooped up to run out the door.
Yeah, I'm just yelling to everyone, like, are we ready to go? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good.
All right, yeah, grabbing her, getting out the door.
All right. You all make it through this forest and back out to the edge of it. The trees are just indignant as Mr. Crispy walks by, and one of them half-heartedly hucks an apple in his direction. But the view in front of you is pretty horrible. The tornado has touched down and is ripping through the field. All of this corn, the tornado, it is between you and the house, ultimately where the cellar is. What would you like to do?
What? Run for it, run for it.
Yeah, I think sprint for that cellar.
All right, I'm gonna need an act under pressure from everybody.
Well,
Damn.
5.
Okay.
8, but I'm gonna give you 2 hold for bottle it up to bump that up to a 10.
Okay.
Snake eyes.
Fuck.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. All right. So, Natalie and Daphne, you're getting through this field and you're able to see the path of this tornado as it rips through. And I mean, just detritus, ears of corn, stuff is whipping through, getting sucked up into this and being tossed about. A few of them smack into you, but not hard enough to cause any real harm. And along with this farmer, you're able to get past the main section of corn and towards the house. You see that the cellar door is open, and there's Ma is there again with a couple of the other farm hands and another gentleman about Ma's age, and they're just waving you in towards this open cellar. Elias and Mr. Crispy, as you're trying to get through, a section of the tornado just suddenly twists in front of you. But it's not wind that hits you, it's not detritus. There's this quick blur of black and green, and then a big burst of fire that bursts from this blur as it passes by quickly, that hits you both in the chest, sending you back across the cornfield and skidding to a halt. You both take 2 points of damage, not armor defeating, as you're hit by fireballs. And you watch this blur of black and green twisting slowly up and around the tornado and then coming back down.
That fail did level me up, but I'm not yet sure what I'm going to take. So
Okay.
I will think about it while Mr. Crispy does whatever he's going to do.
Mr. Crispy gets hit. That's it. No, he gets hit. This fireball rolls off of his cartoonish form. His Hawaiian shirt gets a little bit singed, but he feels himself ill with an agony of sorts that he has not felt before in his time as a digital thought construct. And I'm gonna go ahead and mark 1 fire in my new move, Furnace. I've taken from the hard case.
Read us how that works.
Nice.
So, Furnace, you have a fire track with 10 boxes. Mark 1 fire for every harm you suffer, every time someone openly defies you, and every time a friend is hurt. If the track fills, you do not gain more. You may spend 1 fire to add +1 harm whenever you inflict harm, or take a +1 to kick some ass or protect someone. Fire is cleared between mysteries. One end of the track reads calm, and the other end of the track reads raging. So Mr. Crispy is undergoing some changes.
Hell yes. Love it. For the moment, you two are skidded back. You've taken this this hit. Natalie, Daphne, like you've got the other farmer and little young Court. What are you doing? What's the plan here?
I think seeing Elias and Crispy get blown back, but noticing that there's this like something else in the tornado, I'm just like, I knew it! I knew there was something else in the tornado. And I look to Courtney and I say, don't worry, I'm a good witch. And I'm going to take off my topaz gemstone around my neck and go into my spectral form.
Oh yeah, that's so good.
That's very good.
All right.
Can I want to take this farmhand and Courtney and try to like get them in the cellar. I'm willing to roll leave no one behind if I need to see if I can get them out of this situation.
Yeah, you got out without harm, but there's still just the kind of collateral damage going on around you. So I think that's a good use of that for sure.
Man, it would be if I hadn't rolled a 4.
Oh.
So on a miss,
Mm-hmm.
you fail to get them out, and you've attracted hostile attention.
Nice. And you've gained experience.
I did.
Yay.
I'm learning a lot this mystery.
You are learning a shitload. Natalie, I think you had this thought, you've ghosted out, and you're like, I knew it. I knew there was something here. And you see it fully as the Wicked Witch of the West comes soaring down on her broom and blows past you at top speed, literally scruffing Daphne, grabbing her by the back of the shirt and tearing off through the air, cackling.
Me and witches today, Jesus.
No matter what, the witch is like, you.
I think... So one of my other moves that I have, or moves for the monstrous is I'm incorporeal. So I think I'm going to go to the tornado and try and walk through it to the center of it.
That's so dope.
That's so funny.
What?
Okay, so my thought is I want to try and like hit this witch, but I don't want her to like get eyes on me. So like when I'm in this form, I can do like the what is it called? The magical force blast. So I want to try and like hit her broom to knock her off course, and then step inside the tornado to move out of like view. Is my
goal. Shit. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. I still think that's a couple of rolls if you want to hit her to knock her off and then do that. Let's see a kick some ass first.
Glad I took that +1 last time. That's a 7.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. And how much do you do?
I will do 2 harm. Magical. Okay. 2 harm magical.
All right. So I think it's you having to like focus here, even in the ghost form, like stop and focus enough to do this, that just the wind around you, the freaking corn, pieces of barn and stuff that are getting ripped up, slams into you and causes...
If I'm incorporeal, I can move freely through solid objects. Does that still affect me?
Yeah, I think so, because that's... Exactly. Like, you
Gotcha.
have to make that decision to do it.
Okay, that works.
But since you have that, you take 1 point of harm that isn't armor defeating. Do you have armor?
No, I
don't have armor. Shit. Well, cheers. And but since you are using this in this tense situation and succeeded at that, I think you get a +1 on an act under pressure to like get out of sight so she doesn't know where that came from.
Right. To like then choose to make sure that I'm incorporeal.
Right.
So that's going to be 7, 8, 9.
Okay. I'm looking more. I was just looking more for any level of success to be able to focus in that storm. So I'm not sure that there's much of a mixed repercussion here, with the exception of, you had to take that harm to do what you did, so you're in. Elias, are you still hunting for level up?
I know what I'm going to take.
Okay.
I'm going to take Panic Button from the Mundane.
Okay, yeah,
so
good one. Read that for us.
When you need to escape, name the route you'll try and roll plus sharp. On a 10+, you're out of danger, no problem. On a 7 to 9, you can go or stay, but if you go, it's going to cost you. You leave something behind or something comes with you. On a miss, you are caught halfway out.
Love that. Very good. What's your move here? You and well, at least you and Natalie are on opposite sides of each other. Mr. Crispy's right by you, having skidded to a fiery halt as well. And at a quick glance, you don't see Daphne, but I don't think it would be long to see her dangling from the blur that hit you with fire.
I'm going to try to escape. I'm going to use my new move.
Make good use of it. All right, let's see it.
So I think my goal here is to backtrack through the corn a little bit towards the scarecrow, and hope that the scarecrow trying to protect his field will give us cover to like circle around the witch and get towards the cellar.
That's awesome. Roll your panic button.
7.
So read us the mixed one more time.
I can go or stay, but if I go, it's going to cost me. I will leave something behind or something will come with me.
Okay.
I'm going to go. I'm not going to stay.
Okay. Behind or something comes with you. Oh boy. All right. Here's how I think this manifests is you get over towards the scarecrow, and as you get within like 15 feet of it, suddenly you realize that everything in this spot is completely calm. There's no wind, there's no detritus blowing through. And like you see the scarecrow, and he just gives you a really encouraging smile. And you realize that he is just exuding this aura of peace and protection. And then all of a sudden you do feel the wind, because the scarecrow's attention snaps over to something that has also entered this little field with you. There's a flying monkey that has flown in and grabbed onto the scarecrow and is trying to rip at it, and the scarecrow's trying to defend itself. As like pieces of hay and straw are being ripped out of it. So its concentration is now on this monkey, and that calm aura has disappeared for the moment. Mr. Crispy, what do you got?
Boy, there's a whole lot of shit going on in this field right now. I suppose the primary concern is that Daphne is dangling from the claws of a witch. So what? I think he's just gonna try and he crouches down low and he waits for the witch to come by, and then he leaps as hard as he can into the air. There's a sproyoyoyoing noise as he ascends.
Amazing. I feel like this is another protect someone. She is in imminent danger, and you might be able to minimize that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh, no.
That's a 5. That's a 5.
Oh.
5.
All right.
No.
I'm not that I'm nobody's used luck yet, and I'm impressed at the restraint. By the way,
do you have fire that you can spend? Can you spend it after you roll, or do you have to spend it before you roll?
I think I can spend it whenever I goddamn well please. But it's only a +1, unfortunately.
It's only +1.
But I
yeah.
will. This seems like the perfect opportunity to use luck.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I will use my luck.
Absolutely. Let me open up 2 because this version of the construct also has a luck special.
It does indeed. Whenever you spend a luck point, soon your animating force will malfunction a bit.
Oh no.
And I don't know if that means some sort of serial-related hilarity, or if that means the cartoon character aspect of Mr. Crispy completely falls away and he is raw machine intelligence.
Yeah. That could help.
What's more exciting?
Well, we'll see here in a second. I
guess
like
we'll see.
I like the options we have. But you absolutely do it. So full success as you leap up. What's your extra effect?
Forgot about that. My extra effect will be inflict harm on the enemy.
Okay.
I full on, I get up there, sprang into the air, grab Daphne, and then I like volleyball spike the witch like as I'm coming back down.
Amazing. So I think this is sort of like, this is kind of a trade blows as well, as you strike her and grab Daphne, and she just reaches out, this wicked witch. She reaches out and just grabs you by the throat and has you both dangling there for a moment. And she just, like, she's struck, and the broom weaves for a second as she flinches, but she keeps cackling and just goes up and up and up a little longer, and then just drops you. So you take hold on. You take 1 point of armor defeating harm as you sort of cartoon slam into the ground, but you do have Daphne like in your clutches so that she uses you as kind of a trampoline or something.
It's very soft. Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually, if you were to cut me open, it's all cotton batting in there.
I didn't need to know that.
Don't cut me open.
No.
Natalie, you watch this exchange, and this witch on the broom is like weaving, disoriented for a second after she lets them go. What would you like to do?
I want to. Okay, so I'm inside the tornado. Like, do I see anything inside here?
It's like oddly calm. It is
Okay.
sort of an eye of a storm situation, but
there's no like wizard behind the curtain, like inside the tornado. Okay.
no.
So then what I want to do is I want to try and use kind of my spectral form and go with the tornado to have it kind of carry me up so that I can get a better like vantage point on attacking the witch. And I want to like come through to the outside of the tornado and just hit her with another magic blast.
Oh yeah. I think this is an act under pressure to use that in this way.
Okay. 7, 8.
8. Okay. Absolutely. So you swirl up and burst out and completely blindside her. She like reflexively throws a hand out, like to both defend herself and attack, as fire washes over you, and you take 2 points of harm. But you hit her clean off of the broom, and she just cartwheels through the air, and there's a slam into the ground. As soon as she hits the ground, the tornado just up into the clouds and disappears, and everything sort of quiets down, and this crumpled form on the ground starts twisting like where she made impact and her bones had broken, and she lifts up and her attention snaps to you in the air. She raises her hands again, like arms twisted in the wrong way, blood dripping from a mouth, and starts to form a much larger fireball. Oh man, Daphne,
Yes.
you're finally down. What do you want to do?
I want to like run over and shoot this fucking witch.
All right, let's see. Kick some
I keep
ass.
saying the same thing over and over again, but it's all I want to do.
Hey, I think it's a good plan.
Here we go. That is a that's only a 7, but you know what? That's good enough.
That'll do. So she's forming this large fireball as you take a shot, and she notices you running over, and like your bullet splits the fireball and hits her center mast as the fireball flies across and hits you, and you take 2 points of harm.
Yeah.
And she falls back onto her back, but she's still trying to get up. Elias, what are you up to?
Can I see the witch from where I am?
Yeah. Especially
All
now
right.
that the storm is sort of calmed.
Does it seem like just continuing to shoot her and stab her and stuff is like going to put her down? Or does it seem like there is something involving like Courtney that needs to happen here to rid us of the witch once and for all?
Give me an investigative mystery on what you're seeing.
I will not.
Oh,
Well, that's a 5. So I guess technically that could be helped by one
yeah, absolutely.
beloved cereal mascot.
By everybody's favorite off-brand Frosted Flakes, not affiliated officially with Frosted Flakes. From where I got smashed into the ground by the witch, I put my thumb in my mouth, and a couple hard blows pop back up, and I look at Elias and I go, "Hey, buddy, you can do this." That's what you're getting. And that is an 11.
yeah. So that bumps you up to a 7. You get 1.
What can hurt it?
This, like the little girl perspective of this old woman, she knows well how to deal with this, but she's clearly not had the courage to do it. It's not just that this witch has a weakness that needs to be exploited. You really get the sense that Courtney needs to do it. So you got to find this little girl some water and get her over to the witch.
Did you mention, is there like a well or anything out here?
Of course there is.
I have a
Okay.
question real quick before we do it
Yeah.
as well. Does it have to be water? Does it can it be like a liquid?
You gonna pee on this witch?
Yeah, I'm
I'm
open.
saying we've got somebody who has like a bunch of cereal and like bowls of milk and stuff in his pockets.
Infinite milk.
I think it's got to be water.
That's fair. That's the story.
Yeah. Though, I mean,
You want Bottle Joe. He's the water mascot for the same television company that promoted my cereal. I can't help you with water, but it's technically I'd be breaking my contract if I did. So
I think a well will suffice. That.
well, let's do the well.
Who? Water Joe, and who was the juice? Juice who?
Juicy.
Juicy Dan? Juicy.
It was
Juicy Dan.
I have it written down here. It was Juicy Dan, the chill dude drink.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm not affiliated with drinks. Even milk technically is pushing it. If I try to connect
It can
myself
only
with milk
be
in
like
any way.
in concert with cereal.
oh
Exactly.
my
Milk by
gosh.
itself and the milk farmers of America come knocking. You don't want to
Yep.
fuck with the milk lobby.
Milk farmers.
You don't want to fuck
Big
with
milk.
them. Everybody's in the pocket of big milk. That's why I got out of the game, kid.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've
I will
heard-
start pushing my way over towards Courtney first, I guess, before trying to go to the well.
Yeah, she and the farmhand with the axe are literally like hunkered down now because they just didn't quite get where they were going. So he is just literally like hovering over her, like trying to shield her from anything. But he stood up a little, like taken a knee, and has just got an arm around her in concern since the wind has died down.
Yeah. Actually, I think I want to flip that. I think I do want to go to the well first and get a bucket of water.
Okay. Then in
Because
that
I want
case,
to,
you see what I just described across the way, but you go to the well.
yeah. I want to get the bucket of water because I want to walk over to Courtney, like trying to seem unafraid and like be like, well, you know how to stop a wicked witch, don't you? And like hold out the bucket of water to her.
Give me a manipulate someone.
Okay. As a grifter, when I'm about to manipulate someone, I can ask the keeper, what will convince this person to do what I want? And you must answer honestly, but not necessarily completely.
What will convince her?
And I got a 10 on my manipulate someone.
Holy cow. I think you're looking around and see, really what she's set up. And I mean, for real, you're seeing the scarecrow that is a helpful force. This guy that's taken like a 10-man role. You're seeing her family trying to be encouraging behind her. And part of all of this is that idea of community and working together. And like, even if she's running from this thing, there are always people there helping her in some way. And so, like, if you and your team like rally around her, like that wouldn't just talk her into doing it, that would give her confidence.
Okay. Yeah, then I want to hand her the bucket and I want to like hold out a hand and like be ready to lead her in that direction and try to like get the attention of the rest of the team to come like barricade her on the way in.
All right. So I think we go into a little bit of a cutscene here. Like this witch was still up and throwing fireballs and fighting back. But there's this idea of you all seeing what Elias is doing and having the realization, seeing the bucket of water. And one at a time you stroll over and like make this little wall behind her. And like the witch is throwing fireballs at you, but they just wash over. You feel a little bit of heat and no pain. And then the next one is smaller and weaker. And eventually she's just shrieking and like cackling madly in panic. And Courtney walks with confidence, like looking up at you all and smiling and seeing how stern you are and how confident and encouraging. And she just strolls right up to that witch. The witch gives out a weak sigh and mumbles, "Oh, what a world." And Courtney throws the bucket and just everything brightens. There's color over the field, the farmhouse. The sun is yellow and shining, the sky is blue, and everything starts to fade, though
Hold
it
on.
freezes for just a moment as you hear Naz's voice saying, "She's coming out of it. If you got anything to do, do it now."
Yeah, I want to drop to like one knee in front of Courtney and say, "I'm so glad that you're safe, Miss Bloom." And then I want to reach into my pocket and pull out a business card for Lucid Inc. and say, "And I want to thank you for being a platinum level donor for Lucid Inc."
And She just smiles up at you, just confident and excited.
Am I misremembering? Did Elias give her something earlier, but said like I want it back?
Yeah, I handed her my pocket watch. I am gonna hold out my hand to take that back from her now.
Yeah, she says, I think it really helped in that creepy little cottage. The witch tried to like eat me, but this saved me.
I'll say I'm glad it was able to protect you. And I want to look at it. Does it look any different? Like, is it still just ticking away like my pocket watch, or has anything changed?
No, it does. Yeah, it looks whole.
Okay.
She walks up to Natalie first as well, and it's like that was really scary what you did, but like in a really cool way. And so like I think you're gonna like sort of be a superhero to me now.
Well, thank you, but you had the power to do it the whole time. It was in
Okay,
you all along.
cool.
I think that's
And-
it. That's the whole movie. We're good.
And I'm gonna keep eating your cereal because it's really good and like not good for me at all.
Yeah, no, they're crispy cone cereal. They're food. Breakfast is an important meal, so just make sure that you eat crispy cone cereal. You can eat it any time of day. That's all I got.
Cool. And Naz's voice reiterates again as things like start to really like fade. Things are becoming almost a little see-through.
Mm-hmm.
She's really coming out of it, y'all. If you got anything left, the time is now.
Mr. Crispy just takes off his sunglasses as like the scene fades around, and he just looks at each of you and is like, "Thank you, the opportunity to. I'll catch you next time." And he just like closes his eyes as he de-reses in front of you.
Amazing. And you all wake up in your chairs having defeated the witches of Courtney Bloom. So, let's do end of session experience. Did you conclude the current mystery?
We did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Did you save someone from certain death or worse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Certainly this little girl over and over again. And in one case, the farmer that essentially there's a scale of how we were going to get across that field to see if he was going to make it with Courtney or not.
Mm-hmm.
Did you learn something new and important about the world?
I
Just the
learned that there are
existence of-
platinum donors.
Yeah. What about the existence of liminal thought constructs?
Yeah, I mean
That's
that's
true.
pretty new for a couple of you.
Yeah.
Did you learn something new and important about one of the hunters?
I mean, like we the players or we the characters?
Oh,
Because like we
you know, it doesn't specify.
Yeah, like we the players figured out like a connection between Elias and our first client that we didn't know about.
And the fact that that the founder is like not only kind of tipping people off like during jobs, but tipping them off towards like counter business.
I would argue no to that because we're gaining experience as these characters for answering these questions.
Right.
So I don't think it should be
That's
as
fair.
players, but also it doesn't really affect our outcome either way. So
That's true.
That is
Because you do have at least 3, so you do get 2 more experience points. Does that level anybody up?
Oh yeah,
Not-
no, I'm leveled up for sure.
Oh yeah.
I am unstable.
We'll see next time I'm back on. So
All right.
whenever that may be.
Well, we gonna see.
One day, Mr. Crispy will come back. He'll have gone to therapy. He'll get rid of this furnace move.
Well, amazing. Well done, everyone. And thank you all, you wonderful, wonderful people, for joining us for episode 2 of Lucid Inc. Thank you, Sean, for being our first guest and honoring us with Mr. Crispy and, of course, your beautiful self.
Yeah, let
it was
people
a
know where
pleasure.
they can find you, follow you, see what you're up to.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this stuff off because it's actually really uncomfortable. I
Yeah.
taped it to a mustache. My name's Sean O'Hara. I'm the GM for Spout Lore, Dungeon World actual play podcast. You can find us on the internet at Spout Lore most places. You can find me at Sean_O'Hara on Twitter.
Spout Lore is a great actual play podcast that plays
so
Dungeon
good.
World. They're so
Thank you
good.
so much.
In case it wasn't clear from Mr. Crispy, Sean is funnier than all of the rest of
So
us
funny.
combined. Outright, with one hand tied behind his back.
Oh, you're so kind.
Sean, in 3 words, almost killed me a couple of weeks ago from a gag that he did that popped up on Spout Lore. While I was merging onto the highway at 75 miles an hour, I got hit with that joke, and it almost went bad. It's
One
such
day.
it's
He'll get
so
ya.
good. It's so
One
so
day
good.
we're gonna get somebody in a car. One day. Well, thank you so much for having me. I had
Thank
a
you.
Yeah.
It was a blast.
Thank you. You were incredible. A quick thank you to Jax for the resub. Happy 26 months. I'm a T-Rex. Thank you for the gift sub. Person2902, thank you for the resub. Happy 9 months. And thank you for the follow, Veilfox. I also want to give a shout out to whoever followed a couple hours ago, #1 Sean fan.
Not related. They're talking about Sean Desmond.
I'm sure.
That's it.
And Seamus, thank you for the pie. So coming up for the rest of the week, Wednesday the 31st at 7 p.m. Eastern, join us for join us for Dead by Daylight with Tass, and maybe Rev, and maybe J Games, and maybe other people. Thursday, September 1st at 7 p.m. Eastern, will be Mystery Detectives with myself and Megan. We are going to be finishing Miss Clue Christmas at Donner Pass. We were waiting for the Donner Party to get mentioned, and it sure showed up in a big way. So we're gonna finish it. That's probably not gonna take very long, and then we're gonna play some Cuphead probably. Monday, the 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern, will be another Monday night stream with some members of the Critcast. Come hang out with us as we play some video games. If you missed any part of this episode of Lucid Inc. or would like to get caught up on episode 1, you can find all episodes of Lucid Inc. on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thecritshow. This episode will be up there by 12:01 a.m. on Thursday. And the next episode of Lucid Inc. will be... When is that? Will be Monday, September 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern. So you've got plenty of time to catch up should you want to. Thanks everybody for hanging out. This is super fun. Thank you, Sean, for joining us. You were incredible.
Thank you.
And we will see you
For
all
having me, everybody.
next month for episode 3 of Lucid Inc.
Bye.